speed.
Give
40.
me intelligence and give me
30.
sleight of hand.
20.
Oh,
Retard.
God, we're all gonna die. in a
Retard.
Plane crash.
Retard.
Pull up.
Retard.
Pull up.
Wind
Oh,
shear.
no.
Chef, there.
Oh.
Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank
This
angle.
plane has none of those.
You know, it's just us in the back seat.
Just Yo, you guys are physically
Help
making
me.
those sounds.
You are not helping at all.
This is like one of them roller coasters at them fairs, right?
Do you
Nico's.
realize
I gotta
if
put
I
my
screw
hand
up,
in the
if I fuck up, you will die. Stop it.
I can see as he's flying, all of you are kind of leaning over his shoulder, making these sounds, and then Hashu just like head directly over his, opens his mouth like a speaker, and just starts throat singing the fucking Sidewinder tracking noise. Just
Whenever the plane points towards the sun, he changes to the lock pitch from the search pitch.
I'm gonna blame this poor performance on you guys being annoying.
That's gonna be the cover for this session, is all of your faces leaning around Torin just making fucking cockpit noises. Oh, fuck.
Terrain.
I tried
No.
setting up my phone. The app was fucking dog shit.
Is
Didn't
at
work,
least
so I'm
his
using a different one.
3D VTuber model a cute e-girl?
So,
I don't know how that shit
No,
works.
he's just a Discordy girl.
Oh god. I think I... Alright.
Yeah.
I'm just paying myself tonight.
Gotta
Don't
get him
play
a
immersion.
Snake VTube model.
Yeah! Honestly, you could. It wouldn't be
Do you
I'm
want
not
to do
telling
that?
anybody about that.
Do you want to rig all of us up to VTuber models sometime of our characters?
No, no.
It is a very good point.
It's gonna be they're gonna be make them all like accurate as possible, so my character doesn't even fit in the frame.
This thing is fucking useless.
See, yeah, like that.
It's just Torin's head.
Welcome to my first appreciation of music stream. Today we're gonna study the Baroque period.
Empty pussy.
Did you know he was deaf?
Common misconception.
Between
let's shoot
two
this gun.
ferns with Torin and Torin.
That eventually led to the formation of the band Sum 41.
Oh my god.
What 9/11 went led to 50 Shades of Grey, so I mean it's not that far gone in conclusion.
You know...
Oh, it's funny
Don't
'cause-
I'm not explaining it, alright? I'm not
No, I understand, because we killed a monkey and all of a sudden everything flipped, so... Who
Yeah.
knows? Harambe,
All I know
we'll
is,
never forget you.
9/11 is
Some
single-handedly
41 doing their
responsible for
last show,
killing American
and Dan
centimeters
trying to
of
get
noise.
me to go with him.
9/11's also responsible for 2 point some odd trillion that disappeared, but oops! Hey, remember on 9/10, the day we lost 2.3 or 2.4 trillion dollars into the like Saudi bank or something? Oh yeah, I remember that. Anyway.
They obviously rolled deception.
They rolled
hey.
deception. Oh no, we said, what was it, 2 billion to the Taliban?
That's how we
back.
start off the recording. Go heckle Kamala Harris.
Go heckle Kamala.
Just say in Minecraft afterwards,
In
and you'll be
Minecraft,
fine.
yeah. We're gonna.
No, the FBI has
I'm gonna
to
rebuild
sort that out now.
Glendale, Arizona, in Minecraft.
Hey, brown lady, show us your tits.
Holy shit.
We need to do like take the Captain Falcon and just be like, show me your boobs.
Y'all need to get laid. In John's case, he needs to get his balls back.
It's been 4 days. What are you talking about?
Same.
Yours don't count though.
What did you not count?
They're like half touchdowns or like touchbacks.
What the fuck does that mean?
That's
That's
tax,
what
like
he
take
says.
backs.
Alright, that's it. I'm taking a shot of gin, and by the time I'm done, we better be ready to start.
Yep, we're starting. We're starting. I love you, John.
What, What, you don't drink while you talk? What?
Oh yeah, before we actually do start, how did the screen recording go last week?
It went good. I just haven't gotten around to editing it much. I'm just gonna combine it with this one and make it a super episode because I'm lazy.
Okay.
I sat there, I'm like, I got Wednesday free, and I looked at it, and I'm like, it's gonna take 3 minutes just to buffer it into the editing software. I'm gonna put that off till Sunday and just make it a double episode.
That sounds like a problem for future Luke.
Yeah, that's a Sunday problem. But today be Friday.
There be. Oh, by the way, I downloaded War Thunder mobile, and I've been playing it a bunch.
Ew.
Die.
I'm pretty sure you added me as a friend.
On War Thunder, not War Thunder Mobile.
Well, it's Gaijin, it's the same thing, but not the same thing.
That's like saying the box building shooter game is the same on mobile as it is on Steam.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The one where you build boxes and stuff and you run around and shoot. Fortnite! Thank you.
That was the worst description I've ever heard.
Fortnite isn't even on Steam.
Not on Steam, it's on the other shooter
The
one.
Epic Games Store.
Epic Game Store, there you go. Ah,
Formerly
boy.
just the Fortnite launcher.
Fortnite launcher. God, yeah, it was. Holy shit. Alright, let me make sure this is still wrapped. This is working. Alright, models on point. Everything's good. Eventually, I gotta put your guys' different models up there in a different pose. But for now, that'll work. We got the race bar. We got the models. We can actually see the screen now when I'm clicking, so you guys will get spoilers when I go to asset tabs. But whatever, it's fine. I don't mind. Ugh, okay.
Going to asset tabs. I'm doing it.
Do it. Rolling acid in the South Atlantic, hell yeah. Last we left off, Wondrous Company had been granted their mission that was pushed to the top of the priority order as there was worry of the find potentially getting away, and with the addition of what seemed to be high-value assets going silent, namely a listening post on Deception Island.
Shoot, I didn't get to do my intro.
Oh.
I was gonna be like, last time on Wondrous Company Inventors.
Wondrous
But I
Country.
Yeah, if I could friggin' talk, it'd be actually good. Sorry. Last time on Wondrous fuck. Stop word. Last time on Wondrous Company Adventures. There we go.
Is that the little, like, kiddie ride that Torrin's gonna open in his museum after all this is said and done? Wondrous Country?
Yeah. Take me home, wondrous roads, to the country where I'm from.
Torrin's just the sassy boat ride
Probably
conductor
to the
at Disney.
museum where I was born.
West Virginia!
You're from Boston,
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, in a museum. Here I stay. I'm a kobold.
Great rhymes.
Amazing, top tier.
They don't got rhyme.
Yeah.
This is folk music. You
It's
don't got rhyme in
Boston,
folk
they don't
music.
have to rhyme. But you guys got your mission to hunt down, locate, and process in the way you seem fit the missing MS Schwabenland 2, the follow-up to the Schwabenland 1. Following the same path and same destination and supposed same mission of the original Schwabenland German Antarctic expedition, the Schwabenland 2 departed quite a few months sooner than it was actually scheduled to, leaving much of the scientific community a little questioning and concerned, with the revelation that the one leading it fell a little bit into obscurity and nuance, considering some of the political climate changes of the home country of the voyage. Antarctic Boogaloo. So, with it venturing out, it was very quickly lost. As in, it disappeared off all radar, all tracking, all communications. Around the same time, at the spotting of a handful of U-boats in the waters between Antarctica and South America, specifically by the Falklands Island chain and other scattered islands within the area by the Commonwealth, who have a smattering of now public to the, at least to the OSS, observation posts and listening posts. It would seem around the same time, with the ship having gone missing, multiple planes of what the Falklands had were scrambled to go start looking for it. What they ended up seeing was trace evidence of additional U-boats in the area, and with windows of opportunity of the listening posts that are supposed to check in at regular intervals, one of them has gone silent and missed multiple windows, leading them to worry even more, as that one is the closest to the path of the original Schwabenland. So, excuse me, Wondrous Company flew your way south on a nice long flight, landed your butts in the Falklands, hopped on your ship, which is a very old, decrepit, but still very capable and happy and giving its all, HMS Lance. A nice old destroyer from the previous Great War that is still
That had been
sort
scrapped
of in
by now.
service. Would have been scrapped, but they kept it together, and they're like, here you go, this works, because the Falklands is a little bit on the back burner as far as the stuff they get. You guys met Captain Harbrow in a short little convo, and were quickly on your way, not wanting to waste too much time in getting to the listening post.
I've got news for you. You're mine now. You belong to me.
Okay. Why is that not your accent, Will?
But I mean, it's Austrian, so it's not that bad. Hello, my name is Wilhelm Schwartz.
Why is it that there's two of them?
Hello, my name is Wilhelm. One of them is Schwabenland, one of them's
Is that how you one
No,
has
they're
to
both
laugh, one
Schwabenland.
doesn't?
I'm sorry, was
One's
the
showing-
first ship named the Schwabenland 1? Because if so, that seems rather pessimistic.
I mean, it kinda
Actually, they were
was.
both just called. They were actually both just called Schwabenland, but he's calling it Schwabenland 2 for it to make sense.
It had italics on the second one. It had two little Roman numerals
No,
on it.
that's a picture of the second one with no line, with no number 2 after the actual name.
I thought it had the Roman
Nope.
numerals after it, the second one.
Hey, Captain,
they're
why
just-
did we name this boat Schwabenland 1? Oh, for when it sinks.
Yeah. Well, there's a good chance it was gonna sink. They were sending it to the
You know-
Antarctic to map out snow. You know?
Never mind. I
They, what do you mean they were
There's a
sent to find
Schwabenland.
Atlantis?
There's a
I don't know what you're talking
Schwabenland
about.
3 that's still in service.
Yeah. And eventually,
Think of, like,
That one was
Schwabenland
built in
4.
1983, though,
Oh
Okay,
shit!
I
It's a
watched
job.
that last the other day. It was awesome.
and it's owned by the Chinese now.
The
Oh,
Enterprise Mark II electric boogaloo.
We're on like the Enterprise Mark 7. What are you talking about?
Enterprise 12, going through space. But you
The amount
guys
of
are
Enterprise space is ridiculous.
right.
Star Trek lore is just ridiculous.
You guys are floating your way on out, and during a chance encounter with some more choppy waves, your two observers up top, being Nikos and your other seafaring member, being... God, why are you... We need a bigger boat.
Oh,
I mean,
earlier
you
I
did
was
it.
resident DM
yeah,
abuser,
y'all-
so
Okay.
this
Y'all
is
did
my-
it, so
this is
I don't
my
know what y'all
silent
can complain
protest.
about.
Silent protest. Leroy and Nikos up top managed to spot some of the white water of an incoming torpedo. Luckily, it was a dull half impact and assumedly not very great torpedo itself, because upon detonation, it very lightly rattled the entire ship, but only managed to break a few of the lower welds and some of the rivets. However, it didn't actually cripple you in any way, at least that you've been able to notice.
Magnetic detonator gang.
Yeah. Continuing on,
Truly the most depressed
and
race.
with everybody, unfortunately, finding themselves becoming very sleepy quite rapidly, save for a handful of you, with Nikos bent over and passed out up in the crow's nest. The other
Yo.
5 of you are trying to man your positions as best you can. Hachu and Torn were down below, following Torn's lead on keeping the engines and boilers running properly, and trying to articulate them to the vocal commands of the makeshift helmsman, being Peter, who was going off of the sort of shouted spotting and orders of Leroy, with Wilhelm up on the front gun, being ready to react as need be, and priming some of the HE shells for water surface impact in a worst case scenario.
Speaking of, try and shoot that torpedo that's off our port bow.
The last part that we went through, and where did I put that? I think I put it right here. Yeah, I put it right here.
You put it with my mom. Can't help myself. I'm sorry.
Let me see if the angle's any good. Alright. There we go. There we go. So, the last moments, you guys were conducting some really heavy, really stiff S-turns and sways and rotations, and even opting to make a full 180 and continue westward for a while to try to shake these. As of yet, and as a small reminder for the players, you guys have dodged, up until this point, 6 torpedoes. And before we cut
Is that
away...
including the one that hit us or no?
That isn't... No, that's not counting the one you've hit. So that is 7 total. However, the final moments, as you guys were leveling out and continuing westward, Leroy was lucky enough to spot what seemed to be 2 more streaks coming straight towards you from, assumedly, your pursuing ships. So, we will pan on over to here. And we will pick up. With them having been spotted, you will not have any disadvantage to this. So the usual process for this, our spotter team will roll perception to spot it. If they roll high enough, that will give either a advantage, standard, or disadvantage to the navigation roll for whoever is navigating. Based upon those 2 rolls combined, the end result will be determined by the add-on of how well the engines are maintained and worked with by our 2 engine crew. So, these ones having already been spotted, however, we will leave it to our ship's navigation to interpret the perceived speed and direction of these torpedoes. Father Troikov, would you please roll me a intelligence?
2. 4.
God damn.
Oh, okay. As much as the Tism would like to tick in here, being a little more accurate to the character and having not really been on a boat, but maybe 3 times in his entire life.
Oh, more than that. I was in Alaska.
True. You see the torpedoes coming, you hear the angles and call-outs from up above from Leroy, and kind of combining these together, you end up figuring out the rough destination angle that you need to take, what direction to kind of try to cut between the 2 of them, and how you manage to decide to try to floor it. However, as Blair, how would you like to move this? How would you like to try to navigate this, or like what would be the call out and command, since you are of the ship, you are a man of the sea?
What's the ship?
I already did.
Again, because clearly it's not working that well right now.
Come left to course 230, and I'm hitting the bells for flank speed again.
Alright. I would like our engine decks, Hachu and Torin. You guys need to roll sleight of hand.
Speed up, slow down, turn, speed up, slow down. What is going on up there?
Just keep turning the wheels.
You guys are just cranking away at these things, trying to keep them running.
I'm turning will.
Damn, 22, 25, and 15 definitely compensate for the 5. As you guys continue forward, you start cranking hard to the side, you start trying to navigate and kind of whip your ass around to try to avoid these. Why am I moving
That was
this
more
up?
than I wanted.
There we go. You said course correction to 230?
Yeah, 230.
Gotcha. I'm using the little compass in the corner. Yep, 230. As you guys are pressing through, you can see the torpedoes rapidly approaching. And because of your rolls, they manage to barely slip past you as they go floating on by and zooming on past. And eventually, you see them kind of dissipate in the water. One of them emerges and surfaces for half a second before splashing back down and dying out in the distance.
What is that blowing sound?
I'm still on the gun, I assume.
You are indeed.
I'm gonna shout up to, I'm guessing it'd be, Nikos and, Leroy?
You're
They're the ones who are...
cold. Nikos is out
I
asleep.
am
on the
asleep.
crow's nest.
I'm taking a
Okay,
nap,
so I
man.
can-
I'm not gonna be any help.
I'd just be yelling up to Leroy then. Buddy, do you have anything you want me to shoot at?
Does he see a periscope or anything?
Oh, DM, do I?
If you'd like to look for it, give me your perception. Or investigation, because you're looking specifically for an item.
What about my brain? Is a periscope an item or a thing?
A
It's an
thing,
item.
An item, a location, a spot.
Not too bad.
Alright. You kind of get your binoculars up and you're starting to look around, check the horizon. You know how to look for specific little things. You've seen kind of makeshift smuggling ships and semi-submarines before. So you know to kind of try to look for what you can find. Unfortunately, as you scan around and do kind of a full 360, mostly focusing towards the west and the north, as those are where the assumed contacts were, you're not seeing anything surfacing, you're not seeing anything popping up or in the distance.
Remember, I'm still zigzagging.
Gotcha.
Where the fuck did my ring go?
Are you
I ate
continuing
it.
zigzagging to the southwest? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Alright. Let me pop that in here, that you are zigzagging southwest. Okay. As you guys are continuing and floating along, I would like Nikos to
Yes.
roll me a con save at at advantage.
An advantage.
Advantage con save. Hey! Leroy, as you're up there looking out in your binoculars, you hear a little bit of a sort of waking up gasp as Nikos kind of blinks a couple times and comes back to himself.
We still alive?
I thought he
Well,
fucking
we're
died
still
for real.
floating. We haven't gotten the fly. We haven't gotten a life vest yet, so I would assume we are still in one piece, sir. How you feeling?
Better now.
Nikos, roll me Arcana.
Okay.
Fails the Arcana, goes back to sleep.
Wow.
Night.
You've heard enough stories. You and your heritage are familiar enough and have even had a handful of not altercations, but conversations or experiences in the past. More specifically, during a previous ship sinking experience, you managed to hear some of this as well. You know a siren song and the after effects of it when you've been hit by one, and the ship is rife with it right now.
They got sirens on the sub.
Do I hear that or no?
I probably shout it out for everyone to
Okay.
hear.
Do you think they're on the sub or the island?
Well, I think we're far enough away from the island. They're probably on the sub, I would imagine.
All right, let's shift course southeast to try and start working our way back towards the island.
Alrighty. You start navigating around with a little bit of an easier check as the ship swings around, starts continuing its way southeast. Boilers are running to peak. All the crew is still remaining asleep. However, Nikos, you are actively hearing those trace bits of siren song floating around. You're kind of surprised the party is able to still be standing and withstand it. But
Is there anything we can do for everyone else?
Not now. It's a bit too late.
I want to shoot something, but I can't if I can't see it.
Leroy and Nikos, give me a perception check, please.
Okie dokie.
I perceive that you're up to no good.
Maybe. You're a bit enamored at the
first mission.
You're a bit enamored at, like, oh wow, sirens. I've heard about sirens. The French always talked about sirens. There was allegedly some in, like, Brazil way back, but sirens are cool. Are they actually fish? Do they have human tops? If they have human tops, how far down does the human bit go?
Oh my god.
How big are their boobies?
How big are the boobies? As big as the perceiver wants them to be. Nikos, though, you kind of are looking out with your regular eyesight, which it's a little bit more equipped to the ocean and being able to see some of the specifics. However, as you're looking out, it's not until you literally hear a somewhat louder metallic splash as you look and you can see. Let me move this where it needs to be. You look towards the back of the ship and you quickly see popping out of the water and skipping for half a moment a very shallow depth torpedo pop out and sink back in, pretty much right on your guys' ass.
Behind. That's what, like 345-ish, maybe?
That'd be... looking at chart.
No, maybe
That'd be about 310.
310. Yeah.
You should have
310.
made the bearing thing an object instead of part of the map.
I mean, I can drag it a little bit.
Oh, well, then just slap it on the ship.
Oh.
You're like,
Yeah,
that's the bearing.
Yeah, that's
You know,
much
there's
more
a-
helpful.
You
Thank
know,
you.
there's a flying saucer above us. Yeah.
There we go.
Oh,
You should have
Yeah,
left
thank
it.
you.
No,
Yeah.
move it under the ship.
Yeah, that's
Scale it
way
up,
more
scale it up.
helpful.
There you go.
And then just make them one object.
Well, no, because the ship has to rotate on top of the compass.
Mhm.
There we go.
You make it go north, and then our degrees rotate with the ship.
Oh, jeez. Keep turning
Well,
left. We
another
gotta go
torpedo.
north. It keeps going away from us.
Bearing 310.
All right.
Operator,
respond to that.
Intelligence.
Intelligence.
Yeah.
Hello, operator. I'd like to see
Hey, okay.
intelligence, please.
Yeah.
Hey,
you'll-
he thought about it this time.
He gave more thought to this one. What would be your course of action?
Come left to new course 100.
Alrighty. And,
And
our
we've
conductors.
firewalled the ship.
Oh god. And conductors down below. Give me sleight of hand from both of you.
All right.
Ooh.
All right, I have it as a
13's
separate
not
fucking
too
window.
bad. Alright.
That could be worse. I'll take it. I can't.
It's it's not the most optimal. But let me do some math here and double check. Yeah, this is a pretty standard, pretty good evasion. You guys swing out, you head off to the side as it makes its way and zooms past you in the distance. It's not a close cut, it's not fancy in any way. You just kind of manage to sway that one as it goes off into the distance and once again dissipates out into the water.
I blame that sleight of hand on endurance. I mean, how long can you walk around in 1.5 feet of water, tripping over wrenches and shit while it's
Not too
sloshing
long.
everywhere?
Not too long.
I'm gonna I'm gonna shout down to Wilhelm. How many torpedoes do they have?
Wilhelm,
I never spent time on ships.
Roll me
It was
history.
always land-based.
Roll me history. We'll see if you happen to take in
Oh.
that tidbit at some point or not.
That's valid.
There's a chance
So
you
we're
may
up
have
to
been.
what? 8? No.
From the shout pipe, you
10,
just hear Torin
10.
yell, "More than you do!"
I might know it.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So you
Well, you
recall,
see-
based upon no Shopify, stop.
Like that. Let's put it online and see what
I
happens.
tried that uBlock Plus thing. It doesn't work. I gotta get it actually work.
You're
properly.
using it wrong.
I know.
I know.
I tried. I
Damn.
didn't know how to get it.
That sounds real defeatism
A
right there.
little. Wilhelm, you recall a little bit about them. You know the earlier ones had 4 tubes in the front readily loaded. You know some of the more recent additions have 2 in the rear, 4 in the front. However, one thing that is for certain, once they have blown their entire either 4 or 6 torpedo load, it's upwards of a day to manually reload and carry the torpedoes back into all of that. So once they are done hunting for the day, they're done hunting. Unless you got some really crazy shit hot captain that's pre-staging torpedoes.
So we are at 9 or 10 right now, I believe. I think we're at 10.
We should be at 10 if you count the first one.
So that means there's at least 2 subs. Oh no. You say there's 6?
Because it was 6, not counting the first torpedo, and
Yeah.
then we had the 2 more that he also didn't count. You didn't count those first 2 at the start of this session, right?
No, I counted those.
Okay, so we're at 8.
That was at 7. And then we've had.
No,
one
because he
more.
said he didn't. You didn't count the one that hit us initially, right?
Initially, yeah.
So we're at 8.
Okay.
Because we've had. Yeah, so we've had basically one this session, 7 previous sessions. So that brings us to 8.
So you said there are 2 to 4 torpedo tubes, right? Or was it 4?
There's
to
4 in the front. However, some of the more recent ones have also 4 in the front and 2 in the back. So you have either 4 or 6 to worry about per
Gotcha.
U-boat.
Oh, okay. So okay. I didn't know if they had more. I did.
They
Okay,
do
that
have more storage, but they don't exactly have a quick way to reload these things. It's
Yeah, it's
a
not
full
like a
day
conveyor.
process and all hands on deck to manually load these.
Depending on how many subs there are, they might have 2 more, or there might be We could have 2 more. We could have a lot more. I don't know how
How
many subs
fast
there are.
are they? Surfaced and submerged.
The torpedoes or the subs?
The subs. The torpedoes are obviously faster than us.
Valid. This is valid. Would my history check tell me how fast the U-boats generally are?
It would indeed. On surface, it is about the same speed you guys can push, a little bit slower. Submerged, it's like a third the speed you guys are.
Yeah,
So
I figured
if
that.
you lose them on the surface, they're done. You're leaving them way behind.
If they're submerged, we're definitely going to outrun them on the surface. If they're on surface, we'll still outrun them. They'll just take longer.
Alright, they're clearly shooting from behind, so, what direction is it to the, island? Is
I
it
think
still
we have to
roughly
go
east?
west, right?
It is direct east, or nearly direct east.
That's what I meant to say, east. Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna come left to 090, and we're gonna run for it. We're gonna do a high-speed run here.
The
Doing,
guns are on the front, right?
Yep, the
the
gun's
guns
on
are on
the
the
front.
front?
Yeah, it's up on
Okay.
the front nose.
Can I rotate the gun to roughly about, like, let's say 295? Would I be able to see back that way?
Baron 295, not quite at that angle. You'd be able to
300?
see about the 3, at maybe 310. Between
Okay.
310 and like 220, roughly.
I'm just gonna keep it at 310, as far as I can kind of traverse and keep good eyes on, and literally just look for anything that pops up.
Gotcha. Boiler Tex, he is going all ahead full. I would like both of you to give me...
We're already ahead flank, though.
True, but they're maintaining it now on a straightaway. I would like the both of you to give me a sleight of hand.
We messed up the
Damn.
roll. The engine blew up. Sorry.
Regulator. Time it. Watch the glass. Watch the water glass. Keep it level.
As you guys are sloshing around, especially Hachu, who's working like a big pool noodle, slithering around in there, shifting water side to side.
Steam everywhere.
You guys are trying to work these, you're trying to move them about. Torrens being on top of watching the dials and the limits, watching the amounts. As this thing is just cooking, you're rolling smoke out the top, and you're achieving your max achievable speed of a whopping, I believe it was 23 knots?
That was
Man.
Or 29?
Yeah, it was like 28 or 29.
28 or 29, like top speed, however, advised was like 25.
Yeah, so it would be 25 for full, 29 for flank, and we're running flank right now.
Oh yeah, we tied the gunners down, baby.
Yeah. You guys are behind for a good
Oh,
bit
no.
here.
Yeah, so full is going to be 25, and standard is going to be 15.
Good lord. Yeah, if you're
Yeah.
running full flank
And
speed,
flank-
you guys are pushing this as hard as you can.
This baby's gonna
Well,
need
standard
these seals when we're
is
done.
set up for max efficiency.
Yeah.
I just realized, if only you guys had the accents, essentially Torin is Milo Thatch,
Oh my god.
and Hachu
You
is
just make
like...
that connection.
No, I know. It took me a minute because I just watched it. I think you guys said it the other day.
Yeah.
But Hashu, my eyes literally just go to Scotty from Star Trek. We're giving it all she's got.
Banging
Can't
two
keep
wrenches
Dutch
together to
accent
look
going.
like he's busy. Just taking a ball peen hammer to the side of the boiler. She won't go any faster.
Captain, the boilers won't take much more of this.
He's avidly making dents in them.
He's like moving the handles and then just hits it with the wrench.
I'm
That's how
pumping
you
the
deal
rivets
with that
back
old
in.
machinery.
Yep.
How long are you gonna maintain flank speed to the east?
Flank speed, probably maybe 10 minutes, and
Oh.
then come back to full.
Oh, what the
Okay.
fuck did I just do?
Well, you've got a master engineer down here.
So,
Relax.
with 10
Something we can
minutes-
maintain for long periods of time.
Yeah. With 10 minutes of it going, that 24-9 will compensate before you drop back to standard ahead full. And that's fairly easy to work with and navigate. And
Do I see anything as we're pulling away?
that's what I was gonna say. Our three on top deck, not counting Peter, I would like perception rolls from the three of you.
Nope.
Nope.
Just you hear.
Captain, the exhaust is glowing. I suggest we give the boilers a rest.
Oh god, yeah.
I essentially get the turret stuck as I'm spinning it.
It's
and then I'm
okay.
like, this is
It's
a lot harder
okay,
with one
Thorin. I blessed the boilers earlier.
They're glowing with holy matrimony.
They're getting married?
Look. I don't know much about engines or anything like that, but I don't think they should be glowing bright orange.
It's more like a dull cherry.
And
Maybe yours
What-
is.
what he
Not with
said.
his 9.
yeah,
Peter,
Leroy.
you look down. Peter looks down and you just see Wilhelm start swearing, like ridiculous amounts of swears in German, and then at some point in English he's like, "This is so much harder with just one person."
Leroy, I also need a perception check from you if you are available.
Dead. German's got him.
Oh no.
What?
He got snoo-snooed by a siren. I need a perception check from you, Leroy.
Yeah, I had to help Mom get out the door because the dog would not have let her be.
No worries.
Investigation?
Perception.
No, perception.
Perception.
Precipitation. Oh boy. So, Wilhelm,
Yeah,
you're
give me some
lost.
shit.
You're literally lost in the optic of this gun. You're trying to use the little scope attached to the side of it to spot with, and you're like, wow, this is hopeless while attached to the deck of the ship as it's Bahan over these waves. Mikos, you're trying to use your regular eyes, and Leroy, you're looking through the binos. You're not seeing nothing to either of you up in the crow's nest. It seems clear, it seems good, and funnily enough, you guys will continue on for another X amount of hours. Still on guard, still standing by. Nikos, I would like you to roll me another Arcana, please.
Alright.
Oh, let's go!
He knows everything.
That siren song is playing. Either all your party members have tinnitus and are somehow unaffected by it, but everybody else that was hit by it, oh god,
Mom.
that song is still active and playing in the area around you, and it is still keeping everybody asleep.
Do you have any
Well,
idea how
maybe they are
close
on
it
the
is to
island.
us?
Do I?
With that 22 practically on top of you.
Right on top of us.
I can't
We don't
say
have any
anything.
depth charges, do we?
We have a siren song.
Do you have anything... Wilhelm, do you have anything you can use as a depth charge?
Let me check my arsenal. I might have some.
I have some cherry bombs, a road flare.
I can go spear fishing.
Nitroglycerine.
Paper clips, big ones. Go office supplies.
Let me look at my spells actually. Which I should have 4 spells. There we go. And 3 here. And I forgot to set them. Can I set them real quick as if like, you know, we're on water and I would set them for certain things?
Yeah.
Okay. Sky Stealth isn't really helpful. No, that would make sense just for those. I suppose that would be it. I wonder about something.
Mhm.
I can. Ooh. I don't know if it'll work, but I have an idea.
Okay. What is
So
your
I have
idea?
the grease spell, and I have the catapult spell, and I am an artificer.
You are?
Can I make like a 5-pound or find a 5-pound canister? Essentially, use my grease spell to fill it. I know it fills 10 square feet, but I don't. I basically would fill. I'd line up a whole bunch of them and just fill them, and then just like catapult a whole bunch of them off the ground or off the deck into the water, and maybe have like either a waterproof fuse or actually like light the fuse and like close the top and drop it down into the water.
Come on,
Give
this
me-
so upset.
Give me a sleight of hand.
I'm so upset I can't contribute to this.
I know exactly what to do.
I think I might have it.
Yeah, so you find a couple of the cans of white paint, the lead-based white paint that were never fully used yet, and you
I
dump
eat it.
those out over into the ocean really quick, and you set the cans there, you fill it with the grease spell. It's kind of over the top of the deck a bit, but you're filling it with that kind of crude, sort of bubbly grease. You get about 4 of them filled up with about that 10-foot spell, trying to mostly focus it into those. And you take your knife, you punch a hole in the top of it, round it a little bit, and with a little bit of handiwork are able to kind of lacquer up some hemp rope into sort of fuses that you feed down into it. And yeah, you got an idea that once you light it, you got a few seconds before it hits the grease and assumedly will ignite.
Okay, let me check one more thing.
Make sure it rolled them off the stern.
Yeah, I could do
Launch
that.
them straight off the front. Nothing can go wrong.
Right off the bat.
No. So I can just do flies in a straight line up to 90 feet in a direction you choose, and that would actually include downward.
Mm-hmm.
So
Have a little bit of resistance to the water, but you can.
yes, I figure there wouldn't be a total thing, a total like 90 feet, because I figure it'd almost be like, what are we, like 10 foot above the water?
From the deck, yeah, it's about 10-foot drop.
Okay, so can I say this? 10 feet subtracted would be 80 feet, and then that 80 feet we can use as essentially difficult terrain for the objects, so they'd go half the distance, so about 40 feet into the water.
I was thinking about the same. You can get about 45 feet depth if you just hard launch it straight down.
Okay, well, Grease takes up one of my spell slots, so let me drop that down, and you said I have 4 of them?
Yep, you got 4 of
Okay.
these modified grease bombs.
Bro, could have just run to the galley and gotten this.
I know, but I was already up here and it was just easy to do it. I'd have to run below and come back up when I wanted to do it as quick as possible. So if that's the case, I'm going to essentially, I'm basically gonna go throw one straight down, wait 5 seconds, throw the next one, wait 5 seconds, throw the next one, and then the last one, I'm gonna like actually throw down myself because I won't have another catapult spell.
Just kind of hand throw it over your head, just hit.
Yeah, just like yeet it down into the water, which definitely won't do anything nearly to what the catapult spell will do. So those ones will go deeper, but it'll basically leave a trail of like, and it'll explode. Boom,
Underwater
boom, boom,
burning
boom.
grease. Okay.
So that's what I'm gonna do, off the
Alright.
stern of the ship.
Okay. So just kind of trailing behind you, you're just gonna fucking punt them
I'll-
downwards.
I'll probably wait 10 seconds because 5 is a little bit.
10
I know
second
we're going
intervals?
pretty quick, but yeah.
Okay. So as you
What
guys
is
are going,
exploding?
I was gonna say down below deck, I would like both of you to give me a perception roll.
Can I just shout a warning about this to them through the voice tubes?
You can, yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna tell them what's going on then.
Wilhelm is making things explode.
Wilhelm is dropping bombs over the side. Brace.
Great.
That's off the stern. Over the side sounds really precarious.
It does sound really precarious, but also I have to, even though my autism says all these things, I have to pretend it doesn't.
Okay.
Sometimes, at least.
As you hear this come through the tube on the ceiling, you're like, oh, okay, as you both look upwards, and both of you feel a, kind of a, like, whomp, towards the outside of your ears down below deck, as you can hear underneath the ship and kind of in the distance a boom. And then a couple seconds go by, and then a second one that's a little bit closer. A few more seconds go by. A third one, a bit closer.
And then the fourth one.
And then the fourth one, that sounds like it goes off, maybe, I don't know, 20 feet away, about 10 feet underwater, so about head height with you guys.
Too close, too close, too close!
As the boilers are continuing on, but you are hearing those cook off. The last one, thankfully, I would like everybody to roll me a Constitution save.
You bastard.
Let's go.
Can I please roll something over 20? God damn.
You can try a con save if you would like, instead of a con check.
No.
Oh, did you say check, not save?
Con
I
save.
said save, not
That's
check.
better.
Oh, you said save. Cool.
Hey, there we go. Okay.
Oh, I just did a con check.
I'll take an 18.
Nikos, you're fine. You've heard this 100 times over. Bad, it's fine, whatever. I've heard these on the shores. What are you guys worried about? All the rest of you,
Maybe.
except for Leroy, Torin. Yeah, everyone except for Leroy and Torin and Nikos, obviously. there is a loud, shrill, ear-piercing screech that just emanates out of everywhere and nowhere around you.
Great Marion Joseph.
And you can't help but to drop on your knees. For the next 2 hours in-game, you three will be unfortunately deaf entirely.
Oh.
Mop! Mop! I think I got her! Mop!
Hey, why is the wall
Oh,
screaming?
now do it.
The wall's screaming.
Hachu! Hachu! Are you ignoring me?
I'm just curious. Would one of my healing spells recover this?
No.
Look, I understand it's a tense situation, but you can talk to me.
Not even mending?
I am talking to you.
Hachu can read lips?
I don't know about dragon lips.
He's just assuming what you're saying?
I don't know, something smart and, like, mean?
Ah!
What?
Nikos, I would like you
Yes.
and Leroy to give me perception rolls.
Do
All right.
any of the...
God damn it. How is it I get a +4 to this thing and I keep rolling fucking low?
Do any of the, like,
Every
crewmen wake
fucking
up
time.
after
I'm
that?
not
Because I'm
even
assuming
using,
we hit.
They are not waking up. They're still pleasantly and happily asleep in a slumber. It's not like a painful sleep or anything like that. They're very content. They're actually going to wake up probably feeling pretty rested and rejuvenated. However, Nikos and Leroy, you guys still got your hearing. Things are okay. And you're like, wow, okay, that was loud. You look off the back of the ship in the distance into the water, and you start to see a mix of purple and red, and what seems like shredded bits of something starting to rise up on the surface and make a nice little smear over the top of the water in the distance as you gain away from it.
Well, I think that's our siren problem down.
Peter,
And then-
Hachu's
I
not
killed
deaf.
her with friggin' depth charges made out of friggin' grease and paint cans.
Peter,
Yeah.
Why
Peter,
is everyone still asleep?
Peter.
And if she wasn't dead, she would have been
Hey,
lead
is the
poisoned.
helmsman deaf too, or did he
Oh
make
yeah,
it?
you're deaf as fuck.
No, not me, because remember there was one guy still conscious at the wheel.
Oh yeah. Actually, I need to roll for him. You're right. You're not piloting. He's piloting. You're telling him not to pilot. Let me roll.
Shit!
Nobody on the command deck can hear shit. He rolled a nat 1.
Oh,
Command deck
He's
is
deaf for
deaf
double
as
the time.
fuck. Yeah.
I'm assuming we
No.
can pretty quickly figure out we're deaf. We're not just confused about it.
Yeah.
Nobody can hear the kobold's scream of agony from the hall.
He's kind of looking at you, like rubbing his ear. He's got like kind of red, teary eyes because that shit hurt. He's looking at you, Peter, like, what the fuck, making mop sounds.
I'm just gonna
Mop.
kind of like make a hand gesture to indicate I can't hear, and I
Mop.
assume he can't hear either.
He can't either.
Mop.
What are you saying? What is mop?
Hey, do I see the bits of shredded siren carcass?
Yeah, because he did run to the stern.
Actually, yeah, you're on the stern, so you would see it too, as it starts to surface up.
I start jumping up and down cheering, and then I stop and look around and wonder why I can't hear myself cheer. And I'm just doing that like that deadpan like stop like slightly crouched looking left and right. Like what's happening right now? I start knocking on things and realizing I'm deaf.
Yeah.
Roll me perception.
I mean,
Yeah,
you're an
I can't
artillerist. You
hear.
should have been prepared for this.
Torin, I need from you, and I'll say from Wilhelm with disadvantage. Actually, no. Yeah, Wilhelm, you're deaf as shit. Torin,
Yeah.
I need
What?
perception.
Oh no.
Can I roll it? I saw my hearing.
Only someone very close to the belly of the ship would be able to
Mm,
hear
okay.
this.
Slightly above average.
Hey. Yeah, Torin's slightly above average. He's a good guy. You hear a knocking above the engines. The usual kind of humdrum rotation sounds of all the machinery going on around you, you hear an additional sort of knocking sound that's not going at a steady pace as the rest of it, but you can't quite tell where it's coming from.
That's not good.
Investigate.
You can roll me investigation to try to track it down.
Oh.
You're putting your little kobold ears out while the snake is sitting there looking at the ceiling, kind of bewildered and wondering, why can I not hear my own
Quiet
thoughts?
down here now.
What can I hear my
The
own
snake's
thoughts?
sitting there wondering.
Just slow zooming on his face as it gets louder.
The kobold's mouth is moving non-stop. Can't hear a thing.
Torrid, as you kind of use your ears to listen outwards and you start tracking this down, you follow it to one boiler, to one of the main shafts. It goes to the ground, you listen to it closer. As it goes to the very back corner of the ship, and you can hear it go into the machinery and the main controls for the rudder. And you can hear the womp 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 of the propellers behind you spinning. You can hear the cranking of all of it. And you hear what sounds like sort of a dull, sporadic, about every 2 to 2.5 seconds, ball ping hammer on the rudder making a ting.
What? Is it rhythmic? Like does it?
There's an attempted rhythm to it, but it's about every 2 to 2.5 seconds. There's
So
enough
it-
of a disproportion to it that you can tell it's not rhythmic.
It is not mechanically rhythmic.
No. It's a ting, 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 ting.
Shit. No one can hear that. Are there mechanical rudder controls down here?
I would assume so.
Peter, sorry. Kobold's gonna track those down and just start working the fucking rudder.
Which way and how are you doing so?
Left, right, left, right, left, right.
I need a strength check from you, little man.
What are you freaking out about? This thing!
Cutting our rudder. Listen.
Huh?
Here with the engines.
If you say anything, I can't hear you.
Fuck.
You grab the kind of big wheel in the middle. I'm imagining this one's one of the older style, like turn the wheel to make it manually crank to side. Thankfully that hasn't failed, at least not yet. You start cranking that to the side and cranking it to the other side. It's making a loud screech because it's not been touched or used for a while. And you're trying to turn it. It's slow. And you realize the ship, against any movements that you or the helmsman are making, is swaying slowly port and then correcting a bit and going starboard and then kind of correcting the port again in a very casual, slow way over about 3 minutes.
This isn't working.
Give
There's
me
no hydraulics down
another
there.
perception roll, Torn, but with advantage now that you know what you're listening for.
Okay.
As you're cranking this, you're trying to listen, and you can still hear, although it's more spaced out now, it's every 3 to 5 seconds.
Man, that's a
Hello,
weird
Tom.
That's a weird sounding noise for a rudder pump.
There's a news report on the rudder.
This is what's going through Wilhelm Schultz's mind right now.
Yeah. Wilhelm's hearing sports casting.
So,
I listen through the metal, and all you hear on the other side is a muffled, "Hello, it's Wilhelm Schwartz."
Wait, what's going? Can you hear the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay.
It's Family Guy Deaf Team Special Olympics thing. I'm trying to find a good animation, but
So, Torin is going to abandon attempts at things down in the engine room, and instead go sprinting up the stairs, just shouting,
They're trying to disable our ship. It sounds in the back, the rudder, hammers, something.
As you're saying this and running up, you're trying to shout it towards that. Hachu just making a as you run past him. I would like the both of you to make me a con save.
Ooh, me?
Yep. You and Hachu, con save.
Crit fail.
Oh.
Oh no.
It's so Jover for us all.
Con save. God damn it.
I swear, they better not drown in like 3 inches of water in the fucking engine room.
Oh my
Both of you take 18 bludgeoning damage
god. Ow.
as you are literally just punted against the opposite sides of the belly of the ship. All the water lunges forward. Everybody up top, you are thrust forward either against railing or the wheel, or just slide across the deck, hitting the back of the catapult for the plane, as the entire ship lurches forward like it was just kicked in the ass. Hachu and Torin, there is a not large but substantial amount of water rushing in along the rivet lines, starting to fill the belly. The back left edge of the ship, all the rivet lines and bolts have been kind of knocked out. And there is a significant dent and about a, maybe 3-inch hole where it looks like one of the assumedly left propeller went ballistic and decided to rip a gash in the back of the ship. You also notice that you guys are drifting left very, very hard.
We just lost a prop. That.
What
So
happened?
Kobo's not seeing much of anything because he got yeeted off the fucking stairs,
Yeah,
and I assumedly bashed his head on a bulkhead and did like 3 fucking somersaults. So
pretty much.
that hurt a lot, like a lot.
My bones.
What?
I said, oh shit, fuck it.
The two
That
of
lurch
you.
can't have been
On
good.
the off chance that you guys see it, I'm gonna hit the engine telegraph to all stop.
I need the two of you to give me a perception roll to see if you notice the telegraph light.
No, I am Gip.
Alright, 11. And Hachu, what is your perception, my friend?
No, it's not any better.
Remember, Torin can hear the bell though.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Torin, you hear a little ching ching, and you try to look up, but you can't really notice or see what it's saying or what it's trying to say. Hachu,
Wait.
you look up, you see the little dial, but you're kind of confused as to really what that means. You're mostly relying on Torin to tell you what to set where.
I just dial. Just scream out of pain.
What's it say? What's it say?
Wavy,
Ah!
desperate hands, point.
How do you communicate this, Hachu?
I just keep screaming out. The speed dial! The speed dial!
Torin, give me
It makes
investigation.
no sense.
Can't you hear me? The speed dial!
You're
I hear
listening.
you. You just aren't making sense.
As you're looking at Hachu, you try to like move through the water that's starting to fill up about to your knee height. As you look up, and you can see the dial has dropped down all the way to full stop.
It's in the middle, not drop down.
Well, reverse would be the only thing underneath it, right?
So
It'd be
it's
half
it's
reverse
like,
and full reverse, right?
so hang on, let me. I'm gonna fucking.
I'm trying to
draw things
remember the
right now.
manual dials.
It's like a
So
little
it's
rotary
it's
thing.
shaped like this, right? And this over here would be
Boy,
flank,
that's a drawing.
and this over here would be all back emergency.
Gotcha. Okay. And you said.
And then right here would be stop.
Gotcha. Okay. Thought I remembered it was being more like about a third of the way, and then below that was the little gray marker.
It depends. It depends on the ship. It depends on how many how many settings there are. But for most warships, they can go as fast backwards as they can forwards.
True.
In terms of engine power, So you would have, back 1/3, back 2/3, back half, back standard, back full, back emergency. Just like you'd have a head 1/3, a head 2/3, on a head half, a head standard, a head full, head flank.
Okay. I was
Probably
picturing
gonna
the
wanna
one
erase
from
that.
the Titanic. But
The audience got non-consensual autism again.
no, you good. I was actually kind of curious because I was picturing the one from the Titanic in my head, considering the age of the ship. But yeah, you see that?
Right here,
You
here's
look up-
here's a.
Oh, they got an actual picture of it?
Yeah, not off this ship, but this is the same style. This one doesn't have emergency and flank on it because it's off a merchant. Where is in-game images?
Yeah, that's what I was picturing.
So, just so you know, the engine room is hell right now because currently, without a prop, you have engine number 1, I assume, running away without any torque force on the shaft. So it is just.
It is spinning like a Beyblade with nothing to make contact with, and the right one, you can tell, is pulling all the force and power.
Beyblade.
Let it rip. As you look up, you can see that has moved to stop, and you can understand why as you turn around, and yeah, you're pretty well able to notice left one's free spinning. There doesn't seem to be any rudder control anymore. There's a gash in the hull. Water's filling up, not all fast, but it's present. And the right engine is the only one actually giving any propulsion.
We're gonna grab the fucking the gate. I forgot the word for it. We're gonna grab the fucking valve for the turbine. We're gonna crank that bitch to shut.
Make me a strength check.
I figured you'd just bleed the boilers.
I mean, that would work too, but.
He's already committed.
Oh, no.
Hey! Cobalt Strength comes in. He runs on over, splash into the water, having to take high steps to not meet too much resistance, stepping on some of the tools laying around. Grabby, you start cranking that to the side as hard as you can. As it starts to putter out, the sound starts to dampen a bit and goes back to that more kind of dull thud from that engine. And you're not turning left really anymore, but you're now doing a sort of sideways forward drift as you're slowly losing speed and just kind of coming to a gradual float.
Torin is gonna point at Hachu and then point like frantically towards the stairs. Just,
We have to go! It's flooding! It's done! The ship is done!
What about budding?
I hope you remember there's watertight doors.
yeah, but the engine room is done, dude.
Make sure to. Last one hit the lights on the way out.
Out! Out!
He's like angry, jumping, motioning upstairs, and then he's.
Well,
just gonna
if you want me to move, just say so.
He's gonna turn and run up the stairs.
Oh, okay. I guess we're leaving.
The two of you slither and pitter-patter your way up these really tall, narrow stairs. You get up to the top, make your way, and you see in the hallway just outside the engine room, where you stacked the 6 crewmen that were down below, you kind of laid them into the corner. And you're able to close the door behind you and spin it and seal it. Up top, I would like our 2 observers and Wilhelm to give us another perception, please.
Is it sight-based or hearing-based?
It is
10.
sight-based.
Damn.
Again?
Oh my god.
Oh.
I mean, it's valid, but like, again?
Oh, finally.
Damn.
Fucking finally.
Hey.
Nikos, you're a bit distracted because you're a little more focused on like, oh man, maybe U-boat in the distance. I need to keep watch for that. Wilhelm, you're just making mop sounds in your head. You are befuddled
I've turned
by.
full archer.
You've gone full archer. You're like, I have fired over 20,000 shells in my lifetime. Never have I been this deaf. What the fuck? Leroy, though, you look out and you're like, alright, despite all this, there's something important. I need to hard focus. And you decide to start in a close perimeter and look your way further outwards in kind of a rotational pattern. And you catch it almost immediately. You see the tail of what looks like a sort of large, thinner, sort of tube-like fish in kind of green shape, kind of a murky green, popping up out of the water and sinking back in. And then a little bit further away, you see it emerge again. It's a sort of humanoid, kind of monstrous torso. A very long, about 10 to 15 foot length fish lower half, and a very raggedy, ripped up tail and fin. And the head is kind of similar to what you would picture of a like anglerfish. As far as the big, kind of wicked jaw, really serrated, messed up teeth, a very cold look to the face, kind of popping up out of the water and rotating and floating on its back for a minute, kind of looking and observing. With that 24, you notice on either of his side, he has sort of like a kind of harness system on around the midsection. And on the left side is a hook that's just kind of hanging, nothing on it. On the right side is a hook with what looks like a very treated, how do I describe this? Imagine a 3-inch tall wooden shoebox that looks like it's got a little wooden rope handle on one end, and what seems like a kind of underwater pool fuse attached to it is hanging off his other hip as he kind of looks towards you guys and then drops down into the water, continuing to swim off and away, having completed his job.
While all this is going on, can I make sure that me and the helmsman are going and cutting free or untying all of the boats?
The emergency
seaplane? Yeah.
Alright.
We're not throwing them overboard, but everything's getting,
Yeah, you're able to kind of navigate that to him and give him the idea, and he kind of nods with it and is starting to ready up some of the boats. You got 2 boats on either side.
I would say shout down to me, but it's not very helpful right now.
I don't even know where you are right now.
Oh, that's fine. I'm on the aft.
No, I know where you are, but like my character doesn't know where you are.
Well, you told me run to the back with like these like.
Yeah, but like time has passed since then.
What's up, Leroy?
I was saying our ship blows, but nobody seems to hear me because everybody seems to be fucked up.
I can hear you.
Torin is running for the bridge. She's gonna try to run into Peter.
As Torn and Hachu come up to the top, the 2 of you are spotting it. You're kind of pointing it out to Nikos with a hand. And Nikos, you're able to ID it. You haven't seen... Actually, Nikos, roll me history while I describe you guys running to the command deck.
Alright.
The Snake and Kobold come running on up or slithering up and make your way to the command deck. You can see everybody else is also asleep or knocked out. There's nobody on the command deck at the moment. You both kind of periscope your heads out, and you see the 2 up in the crow's nest pointing out towards something, seeming a bit busy at the moment. If you look out to the side, you see Peter off to the side with 2 of those wooden boats. They're kind of shit, not gonna lie. You can hold maybe 5 people in them. He's trying to untie it and kind of prep and get that ready.
I think Kobold is determined by now that basically no one on the ship can hear him. That's probably his worst nightmare ever. Speaking of being heard.
I'm not even trying to talk anymore, just using hand gestures. So,
any I assume there'd be some sort of slate or pen pad or book, or pen, quill.
You can find like a clipboard with some paper on it, I'm sure, and like a quick pen.
All right, he's gonna scrawl down. What's the best way? Really quick scratches. Engine room broken, flooding. Ship dead. And he's gonna fucking run that to Peter and stuff it into his hand.
As the 2 of you are making your way over towards Peter with the message written down on the clipboard, we go back to the crow's nest. Nikos, yeah, 18 history. There was always speculation and rumor of like a small, tiny handful at most of the very... It's like mythos within mythos. Like the myth itself has its own myth within itself of the male siren and how rare to really non-existent it is. It's believed that there is only a handful of them at a time who serve exclusively one purpose before being murdered and killed when they are no longer needed until
Lost Will.
Hello, my name is Wilhelm
Oh,
Schwartz.
he's back.
until they need another one to bounce the population back up whenever there's not other beings to utilize for that purpose for the majority of female sirens. Yeah, that is straight up a male siren that he's pointing out, and you catch the end of it as it's swimming off and away and disappearing.
We got sirens. Male one too. Ooh, rare.
Sirens, I don't even. Oh, the fish kind.
You hear them saying that up
Must
in the
be getting
crow's
about
nest.
that time.
You hear them as they're saying that in the corner of your ear as you pass it over. Peter, you get the little clipboard handed to you, and you see that note.
Can I make a perception check to see that Peter is bringing out the lifeboats or getting them ready?
Yeah. The both of you, after you make that notice and as it's going off, you're both kind of able to in unison look over the side a little bit, and you notice Peter is starting to unravel the rope around two of the boats, and you see the helmsman on the other side starting to do the same.
I think it's about time we get down.
What? You want to get in a boat right now? A smaller boat?
I'm gonna write how bad is the flooding.
Torin is gonna write back, contained, but engine room is lost.
You just press
Okay.
Flintstone it. Pedal power.
I mean, we do have Nikos.
Yeah, I can push.
Do I see Nikos climbing down?
Yeah, you see Nikos and Leroy
Yeah, I'm
starting to
climbing
make their way
down.
down to you.
I'm gonna take the notepad from Torin. I'm gonna go up to Nikos and I'm gonna say, "Can you fix a hole?"
If I have the tools for it, sure.
I'm gonna kind of shrug my shoulders and then point to or flip back to the note where Torin says engine room flooding.
All right.
And, you know, just kind of give you a see what you can do. Good luck.
All right.
You know, little blessing and then good luck.
Thank you.
So, Dion, quick question. The pilot for that airplane, is he perhaps awake?
No. You
Great.
haven't spotted him yet. You don't know where he went.
Can I look for him?
Give me investigation while we look to Nikos. Nikos,
Yeah.
what's your
Yeah.
plan for this about 3-inch long gash in the bulkhead?
I'm gonna look around for like some sealant or something to
Could
cover
be
this up.
softwood plugs. I'm assuming you know
Alright.
enough about boats to know that. There's going to be a
Get
damage
the,
control locker somewhere with
Well,
all.
I mean, in
all sorts
character,
of
I
stuff.
know about boats, but out of
Yeah, I know.
character,
That's
I
why
didn't know.
I'm telling you. I figure Nikos knows even if you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nikos definitely knows there is a box somewhere towards the top, like, entrance towards the engine room. There should be some sort of box or position or cabinet that has a majority of your would-be repair items.
All right, I'll go look through that and get what I need.
As you go, you see where the door got sealed up. There's a handful of guys just soaking wet, assumingly the other engine operators that are all now still passed out and sleeping in the hallway. As you open up the door, spin the wheel, step inside, close it behind you, you head over to the little kind of Foot Locker type station.
Oh, heading over to a shitty shoe store. Oh god.
You open it up, and yeah, there's those little bitty blow torches. There's a combination of rope. There's a sort of inflatable, what looks like really thick party balloon. A handful of them. There's a few different items.
All right.
Where's the big cork?
Yeah, that's
giant-
literally.
Nice.
Hey, there should be just like a shit ton of literal giant corks.
I
That is what's used for damage control. I shit you not.
Yeah.
I'll grab the giant corks and take over to the breach and start to work.
You
Isn't
go
it like
over.
Yeah,
Fucking
put the
wedge.
collision tarp over it.
Oh god. You realize the
Yeah, I
water's
have that
starting to get about 3 feet, maybe 3.5 feet high. It's starting to swell up around the bottom of the boilers and the engine controls. As you splash your way on over, and you see where the hole's coming through, you're able to stand right in front of it and breathe through it, no problem. It's not like white water pouring in, it's like a steady, smooth stream of water just kind of rolling in. You're able to look straight at it, despite water hitting you. I would like you to roll me a sleight of hand.
I shit you not, it's giant corks.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just posted a picture.
Kobold may
Oh,
have
yeah, you're
overreacted
right.
a little bit to the leak, okay?
His penises.
He's never been in a sinking ship before. Give him a break.
You take one of these and you start pressing it up against it, and you're like, all right, maybe if I kind of merge it sideways a little and kind of wiggle it in there, I can feel it. Maybe I got to shove 2 of them in here because they'll swell, and I got to tap them with another one. And you're trying to fight with it. You get one in like halfway, but there's still water coming out past it on the opposite side of the gash, and you can't quite get the right cork size to fit in there, and you're trying to hammer at it. You can't quite make any progress yet.
Alright.
While you're doing that, Doran, you're running around on top deck wondering where the pilot for the seaplane was. You're looking around. You finally end up making your way around to the seaplane, and you get a small inkling. You climb on up, and you look inside, and he is sleeping nice and cozy and rested in the passenger seat, the co-pilot seat.
Shit, we're not going to be able to launch the catapult because we don't have steam.
We still technically have steam. They never shut the boilers off.
I've installed on my computer.
Can you disconnect him?
Maybe. I might. Catapult Simulator 2024.
I don't want to say anymore because I don't want to give the DM ideas. But the boilers are still on.
They are indeed.
Oh, did I? If I saw how fucked up they are, the 2 of them from the engine room, I'm gonna use the surgical kit on them.
Oh, I mean they're hurt, they're bruised up, but like they're.
Did you say they took 18 damage?
I'm
Yeah.
pretty fucked up.
Yeah, they're pretty hurt.
I have 14 HP.
Do you want me to roll for that, or are you just gonna heal them up?
If you want to take the time to gather the 2 of them to you, yeah, you'd
I'm
have
just
to go
gonna
find
find whichever
Torin at
one's
the plane.
moving the. You know,
Well,
we're all doing stuff right now. So whichever one's more stationary is the first
Probably
one. I'm gonna get to, but I'm
wandering
gonna get
around
to
the
both.
ship,
So Torin
trying
is,
to cover it, uncovering and covering his ears to try to hear
I'm
things.
Just
Torin
grabbing
is,
you,
like,
grabbing
always-
Torin, putting him down, holding him still, and taking out the gauze.
my God, no. As you find Torin, he is like on his knees, like sobbing in front of the airplane. But when he sees you coming, he immediately does like, no, yeah, I'm fine. I'm tough. Yeah, what's up?
He just sees Peter come around the side of the plane with a roll of gauze.
Why are you on the ground? What?
I got something
What's wrong?
in my eyes.
What?
Diesel. Yeah.
Do you want me to roll to heal each of them, or?
Hey, you been crying?
No!
Give me a medicine with advantage for the 2 of them.
I have not been crying.
Hey, you been crying?
This is a very stressful moment. Stop it.
What?
Yeah, alright. So for both of those, the surgeon field hit is... Yeah, surgeon field kit, right?
Surgeon kit.
Yep, so it does 4d8 plus 4 healing.
Oh, sweet.
Is that what you want me to roll?
Yep, roll that twice. 4d8 plus 4.
Who gets the first one? Call it now.
We'll do Hachu first because he was probably less running around than you.
Yeah, good point.
Come here, let me heal you.
Oh, hey, Peter! Hey!
Hey. Alright, 23 and 25.
Not bad.
Oh, thank you. Gets me back to full. Thank God.
Oh,
He gets the two of you.
I'm also gonna come up to you, both of you two, and I'm gonna write on that notepad and tell you both to go pull people from below decks above decks.
So Torrin's gonna shake his head as like saying no, and then he's gonna point at the plane and then like mime like reading a book, like, and that's because he is going to stay and try to figure out this airplane again because he failed last time and he doesn't want to get in the little rowboat in the middle of the fucking Arctic.
What?
All
Why
right.
are you using your hand gestures? Just speak.
He can't hear me, dumb.
I think I'm gonna just kind of go all right, and I'm gonna turn to Hachu and do the same thing. You know, make sure Hachu understands at least.
Alright.
I don't know why you're writing this to me. You could have just told me with your words, but okay.
Oh my god. Wilhelm, you happen to be nearby enough to see them all talking and conversing, and I'm assuming you'll spread the same word to Wilhelm.
Yeah, if I see him, yeah.
Oh, he just hears me going, what?
Ah.
I look at them, and I just point to the water and just like take my hands and do the thing where like you put your fingertips together, and then you just like spread them apart, like I made a big boom.
I'm gonna give you a glare, and then again try and get you to go start grabbing people and bringing them up on deck. I don't know how many crew do we actually have? Like 20?
I gotta double check. I believe I said there was 18.
18. Okay.
Man, how many are up top? Like 5?
Pretty much all
Oh,
of
no,
them
no,
are
it'd be like
just
7.
inside or on
I was
the
gonna say
command
they're-
deck.
So most of them are in or on the superstructure.
Yeah, they're in or on the superstructure. I think there were 2 at the gunnery.
Yeah. Start like assembling, like carrying them and assembling them over at the like around the boats.
Alright, I'm gonna go up to the gun and grab them and bring them to the port side boat.
Gotcha.
There's 4 boats. Did you say there was 4 boats?
Yeah, 2
Yeah, there's 4 boats.
rowboats
You
on
can
either
see 'em on
side.
there.
And then
You zoom in real close. That's a boat.
And whenever you think the timing is apt, DM, I think Kobold's going to spend the rest of this time unless someone interrupts him, sitting in that cockpit, trying to comprehend.
I was gonna
and
say,
prep through
you'll be,
flights and practice and checks.
You'll be sitting next to your sleeping co-pilot at the moment. I need you
God.
to give me 2 intelligence rolls, as we will cut back over to Nikos. Nikos, give me another sleight of hand, buddy.
You got it.
Insert your Greek artisan. Okay, sort of Greek artisanal.
Yeah, you know.
Ooh, the intelligence is not strong with you when it comes to this plane. You're kind of hammering in.
Managed to slay for death.
You're hammering in those corks, and you're trying to. You get a second one in, but it's still not quite filling it, and you realize, fuck, okay, and you pull the second cork back out as water starts coming through more again. And you're trying to fish through the little case of them you have, find a slightly larger one. I need another sleight of hand from you.
Got it. Come on, mouse. There we go. That's better.
That definitely got it. Holy shit. You hammer that one in, you drive it a little bit, it starts to swell, and you give it a little twist and kind of push it a bit to the side. And you just got what seems like a few drops coming through now, but that's about it. As you kind of are able to lean back, no more water coming in.
Good. All right.
Next step's going to be pumping everything out, and there should be a pump somewhere. Both pumps powered by the steam and hand pumps, and possibly diesel-powered emergency pumps as well.
All right. I'll go looking for the pumps.
Give me investigation.
You're pumping diesel? What does that have to do with the boat?
I put petrol in the diesel. Torrin.
Can't do that! That's illegal!
That's illegal. Canadian man told me so.
Torrin, you're sitting in the pilot seat, you're pulling out the manual, you're kind of looking around, you're trying to kind of finagle with it a bit. You're trying to draw some of the similarities between the 4-engine and the single engine.
It should be easier.
You get a very basic idea. You got a rough idea of like, okay, ignition, the start, various control. You feel barely confident enough that you might be able to do this.
He's gonna keep at it for as many times as you'll let him, so that you just choose when. He's not leaving the spot for a minute or 10 or 20 or 30 or whatever it takes.
All right, make me another 2 intelligence rolls then.
Well, okay. Yep, not leaving.
Damn. Yeah, you're starting to bash your head against it. It might be because a bit of the panic. It might be because some of the worry of like, wow, in the middle of the ocean. This is not how I wanted to freeze to death and die. This sucks.
He's panicking.
You're panicked, but you're trying your best. You're just not really making that much progress and like fully reading up on it. You end up going through the steps, and then you catch yourself at like step 8, and you're like, fuck, what was step 2 again? And you're having to double back. So it might be a little bit before you fully get that down. Nikos, though, you're looking around below deck while everybody's starting to drag the bodies and carry them where they need to place them. You find what looks like a big old lever on the side of a kind of machine that seems to have a couple hoses running through it. And you're like, that looks like a pump?
To be fair, before they fell asleep, the actual engine room crew probably would have rigged up the pump too. Even if they hadn't turned it on yet.
Yeah. And you look at it. Let's see, what was your investigation? 17.
17.
It's covered in dust and soot. It looks like it hasn't been touched for a minute. The dials are all sooted over, and you have to kind of wipe the lens a little bit to actually see what it says. And you give the handle a little pull, and you turn it, kind of push it back, and it just makes a nice little cranking. Like, it's not turning on, it's not engaging, it's not showing any evidence of fuel or anything like that.
Alright then. Hopefully, can I look around for maybe a different one that might be like hand powered or something then?
Gonna look for the manual pump? Give me another investigation.
Let's go!
You're looking around, and after about 5 minutes of sloshing around, looking under the water too, and the parts where it's a little bit more filled up, trying to find, okay, well, the electric pump, the diesel pump doesn't seem to work. There's no sign of manual pump anywhere. You're looking around, and it kind of dawns upon you as you look up and over and you see 3 metal 2-gallon pails up on hooks next to the stairwell. And you're like, that's probably about as close as I'm gonna get.
Alright. I'll grab a pail.
Get the shoveling, boy.
Yep.
I need athletics from you.
Oh my god.
Athletics, alright.
Bail.
You're gonna get 2 to 3 buckets at a time, and you're gonna stairmaster the shit out of this for the next 20 minutes. As you're getting 3 buckets of water at the base of the stairs, going up that steep climb, heading out into the hallway, tossing it over the side, heading back in, quick stepping back down the staircase, getting to the bottom, scooping up 3 more water. You realize this is gonna take a long fucking time.
Yeah.
As long as you keep trying to do this by yourself or in this process.
I'm gonna go try and find someone who's awake and can hear me.
Make a bucket line.
Yeah. Are the crew starting to wake up now that the sirens
this time,
fucked off?
All the crew is laid out. You got them established, except for the one helmsman who's just trying to kind of look to some of them, make sure the ones that got like head bumps are looked to. However, they're all still snoozing nice and asleep. So you got Leroy, Hachu, Peter, and Wilhelm on top deck.
Do you want me to roll to start using the surgery kit on any of the injured ones?
You shouldn't need to. The helmsman will be able to look to them with basic bandaging or checks over.
Okay.
Nikos, how do you bring it to the four as they're starting to stack the bodies and get them ready for the escape boots?
I'm all motion for the pad, and then write down pump broken, need to empty with buckets.
Is any of the others around with me at this point, or are they?
I assume all four of you are near enough to each other.
Which one of us is the weakest? Does anyone have a +0?
What is this?
Which one of us is physically the weakest?
I have a +1.
I also have a +1.
Yeah, same here.
Leroy?
For what is it?
Strength.
Strength.
You're talking to the wrong person.
Yeah, who has the
That might be a
lowest?
good thing.
Who has the lowest? I have a 0.
Yeah.
All right.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna write on the pad to tell you to go get Torin to go fix the pump. And then I guess the rest of us are doing the bucket brigade.
Oh boy.
Yay, no hard labor.
Leroy, give me investigation while the rest of you
Motherfucker.
navigate your way down and you end up spacing yourself. You
course.
realize Hachu makes a very good bucket elevator that will cut needing to use.
He's just
stairs.
wiggling his whole body.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate these dice.
Just,
Dude, you are getting worse
Disconnect
luck
and
than me.
reconnect.
yeah, if you need to disconnect from Roll20, then reconnect to it. That might help.
No.
Or just a refresh.
That's what I do when I get a bunch of shit rolls in a row.
This has been going on for multiple sessions, so it's
Yeah.
not.
It has.
I'll see if there's
I
something.
blew my
up
load
out
early,
there.
okay?
You
That's
did
what
get a
happened.
couple nat 20s. But
Right on, Jesus.
yeah. With Hachu kind of periscoping up and down, handing the buckets, Nikos in the water scooping, passing it to Peter in the hallway, who tosses it to Wilhelm, who yeets it over the side and passes it back. You guys get a pretty efficient water line going over time. It'll take you a good moment. I want all four of you to roll me athletics as we go to Leroy.
It's so Jover.
Damn, Nikos is this peak
Let's
Greek
go.
Adonis.
Damn.
Damn.
Unlike my Star Wars character, I do not have good athletics. No.
Nikos is carrying this party. Damn. Wilhelm, athletics, if you will, please. Wilhelm takes his trench jacket off. You realize it's just as ripped as Nikos.
Sorry, in that fucking like burnt in one corner wife beater.
Wilhelm?
Did the babies get him?
The baby. I would like
The
to
baby?
eat the baby.
The baby got him.
You could always just, you could roll athletics for him and add his
Yeah,
mom.
I'll do that. Let's see. Not Sabine. I need Wilhelm.
Yeah.
Sabine had those.
Ah, he's back.
Oh,
Yeah, I said I'll be right back.
Oh,
Sorry.
roll athletics, you mongrel.
Athletics. Okay, this is gonna help a lot. Yep.
Yeah! Nikos is carrying this fire line as you guys are
You got-
tossing it over.
You got the snake who isn't even supposed to have arms. You got, and you got two old men.
two old World War I vets that are sore and tired.
I was
Yeah.
an officer. The enlisted did this for me.
Yeah. Nikos. Yeah, Nikos, you're scooping water, you're passing it, it's going up slowly, it gets handed. It'll take you guys about 2 hours of just steadily doing this. You're gonna be tired, it's gonna be difficult, you're gonna slow down at points. But thanks to Nikos kind of swapping with some of you from time to time. Over
Being
the
our
next-
cheerleader.
Being your cheerleader.
come on,
over
use those
about
arms.
2 hours.
Put your back into it.
He gets all of
Can't even hear you.
all of you deaf motherfuckers to
Yeah, we're
properly
starting to
scoop
get some of
out
our hearing back.
enough. Around this time, it will. However, I'm gonna pan over to Leroy, and then we'll get back to that. Leroy, you're looking around the
Oh,
ship.
you've been abusing me. Go away.
You're looking
Hey.
around the ship. You're trying to find out, like, where's the kobold? Where's the mango? I'm on a boat. Why can I not find him? You're looking high. You're looking low. You're starting to get kind of worried and look over to the side of the ship. And you're like, okay. You're looking through the crew deck. You end up making your way back up top, and you get a notion. Maybe. Roll me another investigation.
Please. Oh my god, of course.
Holy shit.
Leroy walks around the back
I'm gonna
and is
cry.
like, I saw him a bit
You're
earlier.
cursed,
Where
man."
is he? And you spend the next while looking for him around the life rafts and around the crew that's laid up top. You completely bypass the plane, not realizing he's up in the cockpit practicing. Probably because you can barely see the edge of his horns over the,
If he only
through the
had,
windshield.
if only he had bigger horns. If only he had more testosterone in his system. If only he, if only he had hit his growth spurt early. If only he had actually spent more time on the stretch rack.
You walk past the kobold, don't see him literally sobbing on the yoke of this airplane.
He's not having a good time. He's getting frustrated up there for the next couple hours. And
You got some hearing loss, but it's just enough in the frequencies that he can't hear the kobold's anguished cries.
eventually, the ship just kind of floating a bit adrift eastward. Thankfully, it seems some of the current in the water is carrying you continually that way at a frontward angle. With a really exasperated sigh, you start to hear the splashing, you start to hear some of the bucket sounds and some of the grunting. You're hearing your own breathing again. As you toss another bucket of water over the side, Wilhelm, and look back, you guys are sweaty, tired, wore the fuck out. Nico's just got his pre-workout done. He's ready to go. As the water is about 2 inches in between some of the rivets and welds and beams. Most all the water's out of there. The crew are starting to kind of shuffle a bit and slowly roll and wake up a little bit. Leroy, you're able to look to him and kind of talk to him a bit. And you start to hear that slow building pressure sound, and then slight bit of tinnitus that slowly starts to grow and then fades over about 3 minutes as your hearing is now coming back to you from the magical concussion that was that siren being imploded underwater.
Based.
Deserved it.
So, good news, I killed a siren. Bad news is, we all went deaf from it.
And
Almost
the end of the ship exploded.
Well, that wasn't from me.
Oh, is that what that was? I just thought y'all weren't saying anything to me.
Really?
Also, no one told me. I didn't understand what was happening.
Why do you think we were
Did
writing
he-
stuff down?
Yeah, did you not see us trading the notepad around?
I only
Oh,
ever
he
saw the
showed
notepad
you the
once. I
notepad.
didn't know what the deal was. I didn't understand.
Aren't
This
you
is
an
when you
intelligent
find
kid?
out, as a reptile, he has no internal monologue or thoughts.
Yeah, he also doesn't have object
all I do is
permanence.
I just blink at you.
Lacks object permanence.
You play peekaboo with him, he's like, whoa, where'd you go?
Where'd you go?
Imagine
Ugh.
a cube and now rotate it.
Puts his arm and his pistol behind his back, genuinely thinks the bad guy doesn't know it's there.
um, I guess now that we're mostly done, I'm gonna go look for Leroy and Torin.
You find Leroy is standing by some of the crewmen that are starting to wake up, kind of drowsy and seeming relatively rested. Despite you would imagine it's
Oh,
like,
if the crewmans
wow.
are waking up, I'm gonna deviate to go see the captain and tell him everything that's happened while he's gone. He was
Gotcha.
asleep.
You see him laying there among his crew, and you start to catch him up on it, and he's just seeming kind of enamored and surprised, also kind of happy that you're still even afloat. As as he's
the
starting to get the crew
I'm also-
together and around.
I'm also gonna tell him I think we were hit by a torpedo because that's what my character thinks happens. He doesn't. I haven't been down to the engine room, so I don't know that one of the propellers came off. I'm just gonna assume we were hit in the stern with a torpedo.
He's gonna nod to that, and after a couple minutes of recovering themselves, he's gonna start giving some orders to the crew. They're gonna start getting up and making their way to their various positions. Handful of them going down below deck. Some of them going back to the front gun. Some of them starting to retether the lifeboats to the side and resecure them. You're joining a couple guys that are walking around, and you and one of the crewmen go over to the seaplane. You step up and you open the door, and you see the co-pilot starting to slowly wake up and rubbing his eyes a bit, seeming pretty well rested, kind of realizing his surroundings, and Torin, who looks devastated and having been sobbing frustratedly for like the last hour, just kind of leaned forward against the joystick.
Forehead to the yoke.
Just it's the same shape as the yoke, so it fits perfectly,
Oh, fuck.
like your horns.
A boy's built like an airplane. I don't know what else to tell you. Where do you think his flaps went?
I don't know. I'm just gonna say, are you okay?
No, I'm not.
You didn't get to kill anything.
Well, come on. The crew is awake now. We can take a rest.
He's gonna shake his head. No, I need to figure this out. I just need to, for me.
Is the pilot conscious enough to hear that?
He's blinking a little bit and kind of looking between the two of you, and he kind of leans forward some. You need some help with that then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I can do that. Apparently, I'm pretty tired, so yeah, I guess I need a co-pilot. Oh gosh, let me yeah, give me a moment to wake up.
Take your time.
Luke in real life.
I was going to. Right. I'm kind of adjusts himself, looks around again, just kind of taking in like surroundings. Sits back once more, crosses his arms for a moment. Alright, so how much do you know then?
Vaguely gestures towards everything.
Alright, we'll start from the top then. Roll me intelligence with advantage.
Ah, yes, the mental fortitude coming in clutch.
Ooh, baby, a triple.
Ah, there it is.
There we
it is.
go.
There we go.
When the plot demands it, it comes.
Over the next 30 minutes,
It does
he
what?
will nicely, you're not deaf anymore, shut up.
What?
Ah!
Huh?
He'll kind of lean
Ooh.
in and show you the full
Mop.
process, get you briefed up and caught up on it, have you do a couple, like, practices with it, and, excuse me,
Mop.
yeah, you are, list yourself as seaplane takeoff and landing worthy, and amateur,
Co-pilot.
amateur co-pilot for a single engine seaplane.
To be fair, this plane would be very difficult to fly. The position
Oh, yeah.
of the prop and everything is just a fucking
Oh, yeah.
nightmare.
It's a whole different kind of fuckery. You ever be pulled downwards at all times?
Yeah, it's called gravity.
This is a double gravity hinge. So while you're doing that,
Double gravity.
we pull back over to the rest of the party as you guys are able to kind of accumulate back on the top deck. The captain's standing by, the crew's starting to get back to their positions fully and reman everything. And one of the crewmen comes running up to the 5 of you and the captain. Well, we took a look at it. Good work with the corks, by the way. And
Thank you.
all the water. You guys managed to save the engines, but left engine is down. It's not gonna be. We have no port control worth a damn, and we're gonna send someone over the side really quick to look at it. But I do believe we are lacking a rudder.
I'm just curious, can I cast Mend on it? Or is that too much?
That's a little bit too much to mend, unless you were a specific type of mending class. And the captain kind
Cast
of...
at 7th level.
He kind of sighs at that. Alright, well, we don't have repairs or parts. We didn't even have a working pump. Another reason why I don't like this ship.
Oh, can I cast Mend on the pump? Would that work, or is it just, like, jammed?
It's just old and not working. It's jammed. It's done.
Alright,
It
Torin,
wasn't
let this
working
go.
when they got
Luck.
it.
Is what?
The pump.
I don't think that would have passed Seaworthy.
If you tell him to, he'll try.
Yeah.
You can give a
Well,
try
don't-
at it, but ultimately, after learning the plane and meeting up with Leroy, we'll pass over that one because you could roll a nat 20. It is not in working condition. It's not gonna be. Even with your 20, it wouldn't work. That
He
is
walks
something.
down, looks at it, goes, nope, and then turns around and walks back up the stairs.
Just so now with all of you fully on deck, realizing that the ship is kind of adrift at the moment, the crewmen seem to realize that, well, perhaps starts looking at the map for a moment, talking with one of the other crewmen, looks back to all of you. Pending we can get some repairs going and a little bit of jerry-rigging, I believe we can limp ourselves to Deception Island, although we will be a little bit delayed in that process, seeing as floating back towards the Falklands probably is not in our best interest, at least not right now. However, we do have fuel, and we do have that plane. No reason we can't accomplish at least one objective, and then see where we're at from there. My suggestion, although entirely up to you, as you have jurisdiction over this, you fly in advance of us, land at Deception Island, seeing as the center of it is one large, safe, little lake of sorts, and investigate the island and find the listening post, and then wait there until we catch up, and then we'll assess our damage and our position from there. Do you think this is a plan, or should we limp our way all the way to the island together?
Nikos, how high do we have to be to avoid sirens?
That is a very good question.
Nikos, roll me history.
Also, does the wax in ears thing work?
That probably, yeah.
Just hit us.
no.
Just hit us another siren. We won't hear a damn thing.
To the sound-based one. You're kind of thinking back, and you're like, to your knowledge, it's hearing distance based. So just if you can hear it, it's probably gonna hit you.
Airplane engines are loud.
So long as
say that same
so
thing.
long as we can't hear it, we should be fine. So I assume if we fly slightly high enough in an airplane, in the plane, we should be good.
So, good question. I didn't see the thing.
Nope.
But I definitely know that we didn't get hit by a torpedo because there was no explosion. There
no
was simply
explosion.
all kinetic force. Okay.
Well, it seems like kinetic force.
Yeah, it wasn't. Well, yeah, there wasn't. Half the ship gone.
Yeah, out of character, I feel like we got mined by the anglerfish who was mad we killed his waifu.
World War II limpet mine to the left prop
Yeah.
and rudder.
Well, limp it your mind.
Wooden box
Limpet
charge
these nuts.
going off, getting strapped to it, and just fucking detonated.
So yeah, so long as we don't fly too low, we should be good.
I'll get the Bren.
If you'd like to grab your equipment that you need, should be a rather short flight to the island. You should have enough fuel to get back to us if it takes us longer to get there. But yeah, I suspect, maybe another half to 3/4 of a day, and we should be at Deception Island. As I believe we can get there in time, so you'll have about a day to search the island. Unfortunately, the reason I don't see that as entirely a negative is I don't exactly know where the listening post is. In fact, no one really does, so we kind of have to treasure hunt for it anyhow.
Well, you'll be able to observe from the air. We do have an airplane.
A silent listening post
And bad perception
implies
check.
you will not be able to see this from the air. That is, to my understanding, that is part of the purpose of this little fortification or post, is it is unspottable. I do believe we will have to walk on top of it, so to speak.
How large is this landmass?
The island? As he looks over, give me a quick moment to double check the landmass of Deception Island.
Well, it's 7.7 miles across, give or take.
I was gonna say it's a good sized island.
But it's got a hole in the middle.
Yeah, it's a big hole in the. It's basically a big old donut shape. It's got a big hole in the middle. Here we go.
Yeah, it'd make for an awesome port if it wasn't in the Arctic.
Yeah. Man, it's like, what you call it, like Santorini in the Med.
Here you go. In-game images. It's a fun island. When it's not covered in ice and glaciers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like,
Also, the fucking almost perfect straight edge that's on one side of the island.
it's like the Antarctic version of this thing.
He didn't have to look that up, by the way. He has that on file.
No, I did have to look it up, but I did know exactly where it was.
See that.
Look, I played a lot of Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah.
I know the Aegean pretty well now.
So he kind of looks to you all for a decision or idea.
No offense to you, Captain, but I don't want to be on this death trap 1 minute longer.
I don't entirely blame you. And I won't take offense to that either. We have your supplies, we have your gear. Seems our pilot made it. So, if you'd like to be off, we'll continue limping our way towards you, and we'll catch up. Also, do you happen to get a count on how many torpedoes were fired at you?
9, including the one that hit.
So 10 total or 9 total?
9, including the one that hit.
Right.
So 10 total.
No, 9 total.
That is...
Right, said 9 including. It's addition, for God's sake.
He kind of looks down for a moment. That means there may be a third if they're gargling with a wolf pack. We'll be on the lookout and we'll be steady about that. Seems you have outrun them, judging by our position, if I'm not mistaken.
By the way, does this ship happen to have depth charges? Because I had to make my own. By the way, you guys need paint.
Funny you should mention that. No, we do not. And what do you mean paint?
I used your paint.
To make depth charges?
Yeah.
Huh.
I only made 4. Oh, also, there's a little bit of grease on the bow of the ship that probably needs to be scrubbed off. Or lit on fire, but I figured you don't want fire on your boat.
Preferably not, no.
I'm sorry, your ship. I'm sorry, I called it a boat.
He looks to one of the others, and they kind of get a nod and begrudgingly head up towards the front, trying to collect what they need to start scraping up and picking up all the grease that's smeared over it.
If you need it for candle oil, small quantities, and if you can mix it with something else that's not as volatile, it would work nice for lamplights.
We'll see what we can do with it, but thank you. I'll kind of motion for you guys to grab your gear and start getting ready. Your full inventory that you decided to take with you, as well as your heavy winter gear and additional camping gear, has already been loaded into the plane. As over a little bit of time, everybody's able to kind of kit up in your heavier jackets, put on some of your parkas, your heavier boots, kind of getting all winter ready. And all of you are able to clamber up into your plane. And sit back. Torn, are you going to be rocking co-pilot for this?
Yeah, what if a fucking pilot falls asleep again?
Do the crewmen outside start to move some of the cables and pull them down, start to prime it. They're making sure that all the steam is set up and good to go, and the lines haven't been all jostled and fucked up. Doing one more check over of the plane, give a thumbs up. Pilot gives a thumbs up, looks over. All right. I don't know if little Torn here told you. This is my first time too.
Wait, what?
Everybody make me a con save.
Do I get to avoid this con save?
No. Oh wow. Oh wow.
Less wow.
Oh, are we all making Constitution saves?
Yep.
Uh-oh. Spaghetti-o.
Leroy, Nikos, and Hachu handle it like champs. Peter, Torrin, and Wilhelm all kind of bump your heads against the back of your seats or just get a good uncomfortable jostle.
Or his head is stuck in the yoke.
No.
As you guys are literally...
That would be catastrophic. No.
That'd be bad. As you guys are catapulted forward and off of this, and as the engine is spooling up and starting to go full throttle, you guys float for about half a second before it slams down and your head goes between your shoulders. As you hit the water, skip, hit the water again, hit a wave, skip up it and ramp up and off of it and into the air as he is pushing it full throttle and starting to climb and gain that speed that you guys need as it starts to level out and continue climbing up. And he gives a bit of a chuckle. Are we supposed to hit the water on takeoff?
No, you didn't spool up the engines!
Well, duly noted for next time. Instead of 80%, we'll go for 90% on takeoff.
No! Full power!
I put a hand on the kobold's shoulder and just like, it's alright. You can fly next time.
I miss our really comfy plane.
I'm dazed in the back seat right now, so I don't have anything to say.
I do not like that catapult contraption.
Why did we go to the Arctic? Why?
Because we were told to.
Yeah, ain't that the truth of it?
Box.
Why can't this be a regular field trip with the Frizz? No way!
Yeah, with Docs, yeah, no fucking way that's happening.
Doing barrel rolls in the Arctic.
Well, if you make one more annoying joke, I will turn this plane around.
Landing upside down in snow. Wahoo!
Yes, everyone, unfasten your seatbelts. And by everyone, I mean Wilhelm. Thank you.
Seatbelts?
What? We had seatbelts!
There's a seatbelt right here.
This plane has no seatbelts.
It has straps. You grab straps.
The pilot and co-pilot have a strap.
Oh god.
This is planes.
It's not made for
trap.
sustainable flight. Plus, you got all the gear and stuff set up around you too, because there's not too much of a cargo space. But yeah, you guys make your flight. It's a nice, crisp, about 2-hour flight. As very quickly, you start to see ahead of you the edge of the kind of tall donut-looking island rising up. And you start approaching it, and he'll kind of bank a bit, head off towards the south, change his approach, and start making his way in from the southeast, and starts kind of navigating himself to getting lower and lower down, passing between the two big ridges of this sort of port of access to the center of the island. And he kind of looks over to you, Torn, for a moment. I don't suppose you'd like to try landing, or would you just leave this one to me?
I'll leave
I
it
say
to
go
you.
for it. After that takeoff, it can't get much worse.
He wasn't even a character. He's just like, wait a second.
I'll land. You take over if it looks like you know.
I know it's not actually gonna help, but I'm gonna cast bless on him before this.
What about guidance? Can we have guidance?
Peter, I think you
Piotr, make sure
should
you-
have blessed this whole plane before we took off.
I think
You can only bless people.
Piotr, you have to say bless your heart when you bless him.
Aw.
Well, it didn't stop me from blessing the boat whenever we got on it.
Maybe that's why we fucked up. You blessed the boat.
Hey, the engines held together, didn't they?
One.
Mostly.
He leans back a bit, and leaving one hand on the yoke, kind of looks over to you, motions for you to grab yours, as you'll grab the little switch and flick it.
Flaps. Altitude. Engine speed.
Give
40.
me intelligence and give me
30.
sleight of hand.
20.
Oh, God,
Retard.
we're all gonna die. in a
Retard.
Plane crash.
Retard.
Pull up.
Retard.
Pull up.
Wind shear.
no.
Flare.
Oh.
Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank
This
angle.
plane has none of those.
You know, it's just us in the back seat.
Just Yo, you guys are physically making those sounds.
You are not helping at all.
This is like one of them roller coasters at them fairs, right?
Nikos,
You realize
I gotta
if
put
I
my
screw
hand
up,
in the
if I fuck up, you will die. Stop it.
I can see as he's flying, all of you are kind of leaning over his shoulder, making these sounds, and then Hachu just like head directly over his, opens his mouth like a speaker, and just starts throat singing the fucking Sidewinder tracking noise. Just
Whenever the plane points towards the sun, he changes to the lock pitch from the search pitch.
I'm gonna blame this poor performance on you guys being annoying.
That's gonna be the cover for this session, is all of your faces leaning around Torin just making fucking cockpit noises. Oh, fuck.
Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Pull up.
Chaff, flare.
I'm gonna argue.
How many hours did you say you logged in at the museum?
0.
Oof.
I'm gonna argue with proficient understanding of this aircraft that 14 sleight of hand is passable.
Under ideal situation in smooth waters and landing, you could land this plenty easy peasy.
And not
It's a
overrated
cove. It's
by
plenty smooth.
Yeah,
Six
there's
freaking
that's
people.
the famous thing about Deception Island's Cove, is that it's perfectly smooth.
It's deceiving.
But you're trying to calculate that, and you're like, wow, nice,
Wow.
smooth, motionless water. How pretty, how nice. It shouldn't work the same as landing on flat ground or an airstrip, though, because I'm using buoys instead of wheels, and you're trying to calculate that and what speed you need to be at as you start to descend your way down, and it skips, and then makes contact again, and you hear that loud water rushing against metal and aluminum as the whole plane is rattling and making noise, and you're starting to see it pitch forward a little bit, and for half a moment, you guys are looking down towards the water as the tail slaps back down, and then slaps again, and you are starting to rock forward violently more and more each time it bounces. Leroy,
No.
roll me religion,
yourself.
please.
What?
Religion.
It's gonna cast Vicious Mockery on the DM now. Religion.
Is it too late to try a go around?
Not 20, let's go.
That's not something to say to the short pilot right there.
Oh, he said on the DM.
He says it's a torn anyway. As you guys are starting to bounce, the pilot is panicking, trying to grab the switch and flick it back to his control. He's pulling back on the throttle with you, trying to pull back. He's trying to work pedals. Everybody is gripping their seat as you guys are bouncing and about to go tail over nose and flip over upside down. The plane comes to a halt, goes forward. The nose is submerging as
Hey,
it's starting to rock over.
Before we flip, let's see. I think it's Virtue. Yeah, before we flip, I'm casting Virtue on as many people in the cockpit as in the plane as I can.
As you're getting ready to cast that, the plane goes
said
forward and has you get to about a 40-degree angle from the water to the top of the plane as you guys are about to hit your heads on the ceiling, and it skids forward in the water essentially for about another 5 feet, stops, and instead of landing on top, seems to defiantly rock back, and then the tail slaps down in the water and comes to a nice floating sort of heavy, dull impact the right way up.
Piece of cake.
Must
would
be
rather
that
happy
jig they had
landing.
in the French Revolution. I'm now officially green. My face is the same color as my jacket.
Torin is going to immediately blame the pilot for taking control from him halfway through the landing so that he couldn't pull up and abort and do a go around.
He looks at you and seems just as exasperated. Yeah, I tried. It doesn't work. And he's flicking the switch, and for some reason, it doesn't seem to be toggling between the two.
Oh, so that was all me.
That was all you, except... How'd you do that?
I just pulled on it.
Huh. Well, we're here, and the engine wasn't submerged, so, Huh. Everybody
Awkward
okay?
moment.
Or go
The
home.
sooner we get
Physically,
to
yes.
shore, the better.
Mentally, no.
I go home now.
Yeah, you,
Yeah, get
I,
out.
I want to see oak trees and pine trees again. I'm tired of this cold, miserable continent.
Mississippi.
The good news is there's not even shrubs here, so we have a lot to take in, apparently.
That's
Alright. Do you mind if I take this back? And he kind of looks to you, Torn.
Oh, you want to do the easy part where we ferry across this nice flat bay? Yeah, go right ahead.
He kind of raises his brows and puts his hands to either side, like, kind of gently and limply, and just, I mean, if you want to do it.
No, it's all yours. No, it's yours. It's it. No, I insist.
You wanted to
Would one of you taxi us to shore before I throw up?
Sorry, I can't keep it.
Torn, give me sleight of hand.
Sorry. Okay.
You go down, and you realize the engine is still running at a nice little idle, and you start to press forward, and you hear it sputter for a moment. Leroy, roll me another religion, please.
This was his plan the whole time. He didn't want the plane to work after this. I can feel it in my bones.
Fuck you, Tony!
Oh, final.
As you start pressing up on the throttle a
Mega
little bit and
release.
working the pedals and flaps, you hear a little bit of a sputter and a sharp sort of, like, jostle to it that seems to spin the prop at about 3 times the speed it should be spinning already for a few moments. And for half a moment, you're like, oh god, this is about to buzzsaw through the cockpit. And then it mellows out, gives a nice little burp, and kind of jolts you guys forward as you continue scooting forward on the water, nice and smooth like, and you're able to taxi the water plane nice and across towards a section. If we look at in-game images, that picture of Deception Island, you guys are currently right in the center. North, east, south, or west, which shoreline do you want to land on?
There's buildings on Deception Island in that little mini bay. So let's go there.
Not in 1936, there isn't.
We're there in the 1800s.
Alternate reality.
It's a whaling station.
It was.
Yeah, it was built in 1821.
Yeah. When did they close?
The buildings are still there today.
The buildings are there, doesn't mean there's people there.
Yeah, I know. That's a place to start.
This is alternate history, butthole.
No, he makes a good point. The buildings are still there. I thought you were going there because, hey, people. It's like, there's no people here.
No. The buildings are there. There's something there. Might as well start there.
You make a good point. Do you take them that way,
No
Tor?
idea. Let's go the exact opposite direction.
We are following directions here.
Alright.
Torin is just steering.
Alright, so you guys will make your way down towards that little point, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the bottom right-ish, correct? Trying to remember exactly
Wait,
what
do you see the little,
position
like,
that was at.
by the entrance, the little bay within the bay?
Yeah, that little mini bay. It's along that little coastline, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's at like the very top of it. I
There's like
keep
20 or
clicking
so
on the wrong
buildings.
in-game images.
Ah.
Yeah, it's like at the very top of that mini bay.
Yeah. Okay. So, having landed, you guys kind of make a little 180, taxi your way around, float on over towards another little mini bay, pull into it, and you bring it to a nice kind of sideways sweep and very gently float your way on over. You guys get about 20 feet from the coast. You make sure it's not like shallow or anything. As the plane comes to a stop, you drop the little plane anchor down. Plum. Yeah.
Wait, what's the plane anchor sound like?
Plum.
That's pretty accurate.
Sounds like you're taking a dump and you're just dropping droplets.
All right, now that we've come to a stop, can we take a 5-minute break?
We can. 5-minute break, everybody.
Well, that means more booze, right?
I don't know. Does it, James?
Yes.
I've been drinking. You guys are slow. You guys are slow. Slow.
I ran out
I'm
of
gonna
water.
go get more water.
Yeah,
I'm just
I ran out.
imagining the whole terrified party sitting in the back of the plane watching the kobold and the pilot just fucking have a petty argument.
After the plane pulled a fucking nosing into the water.
Don't forget, Peter is the same color as his jacket.
Oh no.
Brown?
Green.
Why?
Yeah.
The same color as your pants, brown.
Now the question is, would the pilot have made a better landing?
Yes.
I don't think. You really think so after that takeoff? I have my doubts here.
He does have like
Okay.
5 years of experience, but yeah, I think he was still rolling.
Didn't he say he didn't have any experience with seaplanes either?
Yeah, he had never flown a seaplane before.
Oh my god. So giving the handling to the person with +6 sleight of hand might have actually been an okay idea.
Yeah.
Great.
It was a good idea.
I'm glad
That
I
was,
didn't just unnecessarily put the party in danger.
I mean, not unnecessarily. It was still in danger, but it worked. It panned out.
Less-
Everybody was happy.
Slightly
There's a-
less danger.
There is Google Street View of those buildings Matt was talking
Fucking
about.
talk about waifus and like. You with us, Wilhelm?
He's dead.
Oh no.
We got him again. It's gonna be on guard 24/7. Can't let him in.
Alakablam!
Plebs are needed.
His body's just lying there, right?
Hello, my name is Wilhelm Schwartz.
Somebody prank him, John.
What's up?
Hey,
There he is. Hey.
What
Hey.
are you doing in my swamp?
I'm sure you have been. Yeah, don't forget to take your dementia meds.
Stop mocking me!
My name is Jeff.
What the?
I've got news for you. You're mine now. You belong to me.
What's up, brother?
Tell him to stop or I'll pull up his search history.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Oh.
Tor just taking a dodgeball straight to the face out of nowhere. Just bing.
It's gonna be like a frozen dodgeball from this.
Oh.
on.
You're
He
the
doesn't
asshole
even
that
try
stuck
to be
your
one of our
paintballs in the
intros.
freezer, aren't you?
He doesn't even try to dodge. Just like, why did you throw that at me?
No.
No one threw it at you. It just came out of nowhere.
It just comes out of nowhere, just spectral. All right. Oh, guy just slowly
Nigga,
dies in
what?
front of the party.
Nigga, what? Nigga, what?
Okay.
Clip that.
No, don't clip it. Alright. Having navigated and made your way to the island with a very odd landing and finding a way over to the shoreline, you guys are able to drop the little plane anchor, drop the little ramp out of the door, and make your way over to the shore side, pull the plane up onto it just a little bit and plant it. He starts popping the chocks underneath it so that it can be pushed back out to the shallow water. And kind of looks to all of you guys with a little bit of a shrug as you're all clambering out of the plane.
What the fuck?
Sorry, cancel that. I hit the wrong button.
What are you doing?
Don't mind me. Don't mind me.
Okay.
Leave activity.
The Roll20 I do want to try and in Discord at some point, like experiment with it, see if it works.
I didn't realize it had a whole thing in here.
Yeah,
It probably has ads in it.
Probably, but we'll try it at some point. But
Your mother has ads.
But kind of looks to all you guys, gives a bit of a shrug. Well, I wish I could give you a some advice or where to start, but considering the corner we landed on, guess you only got one direction, and that's clockwise. No, moves his hands for a second. Thank you, counterclockwise. So I guess follow the outer coastline, since I'm assuming it's looking outwards, and I'll be here. Also, if it does take you longer than a while, or if it starts to get dark after a bit, I'm assuming they're gonna want us to maintain light discipline, so I will be doing the same. I'm also gonna see if I can find the tarp in here, maybe cover the plane over, hide it a bit better. But best of luck. You also got your sled. Do you want your sled? And he kind of looks over to the about 5 foot long snow sled that you guys have that you can put a bunch of gear and like extra rations and stuff on top of if you want to take it with you, or if you just want to venture on foot.
We have a sled.
How much snow is there right now? Is it
How
all
big was
super
this
nice?
plane?
Did we ever get requisitioned like snowshoes?
Yep.
Okay.
You got snowshoes, you got hiking
Speak
boots.
for yourselves. Yeah.
On a scale of 1
I'm sorry,
to...
you're just a snow noodle.
yeah, on a
A
scale
noodle.
of 1 to fucking Antarctica, how much snow is there?
Alaska.
Okay, Alaska in what season?
Summer.
So, okay, so there's like earth and like stuff.
You got
It's
earth
old.
and soil and volcanic soil until you get about a third of the way up the island at any point on the island before you start hitting some of the snow and ice cap and kind of frosty bits.
The sled sounds like a fucking nightmare without full snow coverage.
It's not
I'm
wrong.
gonna have to pull it because like, I move just like the sled does. So
Would you guys like to take the sled with you or venture this one on foot?
I say on foot personally.
Yeah, I don't think we need really that many supplies.
I say we just go to the highest point near to us and start there. They're using radios, right? It would be easier to use radios from somewhere high, huh?
That would make sense, and the highest point is actually nearest to us, and he kind of points to the peak a little ways up from the coastline that you're on currently.
Sounds like as good a place to start as any to me.
Alright.
Was this point named? Because I would love to name it.
He gives a genuine shrug.
Wilhelm,
Mount Itchy Man Sorrow.
I was going to tell you to think about what you were about to say.
Where's the fun in that?
Let's go.
As the six of you start walking your way off, just to confirm, no sled? Just basic backpack supplies? Okay.
Yeah, we're just going up there. If we
Yeah.
decide to go any real distance, we're gonna take the sled, but for now, I think.
Okay.
You don't get a
Wait,
feverish toboggan ride down the mountain as a DM. You don't earn. You have not
Damn.
earned that.
We're near the derelict quote unquote buildings, right?
No, they're fully intact buildings.
Sort of. Mostly. Kind of intact. They're old, but they're there.
I mean, they're fully intact today, so.
What if we take the sled at least to one of those buildings?
There's no snow on the way to those buildings.
Yeah, you got no snow there.
I mean, we
You're
can
pulling it
carry a
across
sled.
sand.
There's 6 of us.
Coffin carries
It's a
the
sled. It
over
can
to
go
a
across sand.
You want to
Especially if we don't put anything on it.
If you want to pull the sled, you can pull the sled. I am not pulling the sled across a mile of sand.
Danger Noodle?
Fine.
Just responds to Danger Noodle.
Sorry, are you playing Minecraft music?
Yeah, yes, he is.
It's not Minecraft
He was
music.
playing Skyrim music earlier.
This is Minecraft.
No, it's not.
What do you mean, no, it's not? You can't fool me.
Calm
I've played the
Ocean
game for
Voyage, D&D ambience, and calming travel music. It's what are we at? We're at 59.
This is a Minecraft song.
Frostfall, Skyrim OST, Distant Horizons, Skyrim, Elm Shore, Pillars of Eternity, Gilded Veil, Pillars of Eternity, The Vagabond from Witcher 3, Driftwood Heartbeat from Vincerupt. No, this ain't this is from Skyrim and Pillars of
Yeah,
Eternity.
this is not Minecraft.
This is not Minecraft. Minecraft is a lot more chime type.
You're right. Sorry for the fourth wall break.
I play Minecraft. You can't confuse me.
I hang on. I'm gonna DM you something.
You know,
DM
actually, it does. I'll admit, it does have some. It does sound similar to some music you'll hear in the not in game, but in the launcher.
It's not relevant to absolutely anything, but it's a map of the Pacific that I made as a mosaic out of Silent Hunter 4's map, so it
my
looks
God.
pretty authentic.
Alright.
I made it for a submarine game I ran once. That was pretty fun.
Ooh, nice. I will definitely save this.
We're not talking about Navy Field, sir.
No. I ran one a long time ago for a couple of guys where they each played a sub-captain. During
That's a
World War
weird.
II.
That's a role-playing thing to do in your bedroom. But hey, I won't stop you.
That also might be useful. It was fun.
Nice. I will
One of them
definitely-
managed to die after sneaking his way into the Seto Inland Sea.
Heh. So, as you guys walk your way on over, you'll stash the sled inside one of the empty buildings. There's no furniture in it or anything of that sort. And it's a couple of those random kind of fishing houses and kind of longer run sort of gutting houses and fish processing buildings. Once you stash it, you start making your way on up. And yeah, it's a nice, cool breeze, soft volcanic sand walk that slowly climbs in elevation. Yeah. As you continue on, it's gonna take you about 3 hours, give or take. Yeah, about 3 hours. As you guys are walking your way on up, and I would like everybody to give me not athletics. Yeah, let's go athletics.
Hey, does this town seem fishy to anybody?
Shit.
Nico's rolled his ankle.
Damn.
Fuck.
I literally don't have feet. How did I?
Yeah, you didn't have feet. You can't trip if you don't have feet.
Damn, I won't have a business on feetfinders.com though. That's a shame.
So all of you are plodding along, heavy-footed and light-footed. You got a brisk pace. Wilhelm's doing pretty good. Hachu, you're slithering along. Torn and Leroy's walking nice and steady. Peter, you're slagging a little bit behind. You're kind of towards the back of the pack. You're a bit heavier-footed as you're walking. It's really tiring you. Poor Nikos,
people, am I
though.
right?
Something with the sand. You're used to like digging your heels and like rolling your foot, and for some reason you're just planting your feet harder than you need to with every step, and you're giving yourself like double the workout than is needed as you guys are walking along here. As you start getting towards the upper part of the summit, you realize there's one more climb upwards to make. Nikos and Peter, you guys are going to be properly winded. You're going to be tired. If you try to press on from here, it'll start giving negative effects. However, you guys are just short of the higher point and being able to look out upon the opposite side of this mountain.
It's okay. You guys go on. We can wait here.
Yeah.
Let us know if you see something.
Well, I see two bitches who can't make it.
Do either of you want to ride on the sled?
We left the sled behind.
Oh yeah. I thought y'all told me to bring it along. So...
You brought it to a building and stashed it there.
Okay, I must have missed that part. My bad.
Good ride on the snake sled.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a toboggan now.
Cast hold person on him as he goes needle shaped. Just ride him down the mountain.
The sooner we find this
Magic
listening
carpet
post,
ride by...
the sooner we can leave.
And quoting Lion King over here.
So the two of you gonna prop little
Yeah, I'll probably
campsite
just...
while the
We're
four
just
continue?
gonna
Take a
sit
step.
down with our backs to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. I want the other four of you then to roll me athletics.
I'm gonna shout back out. Don't forget to cast fireball.
Oh,
God damn it.
14, a 7.
Trash rolls.
There's a trend here.
Come on, Leroy. It's just a hill. It's just a hill that it keeps getting steeper.
Leroy, give me that athletics.
I did.
You did.
No, you didn't do another one.
The second one.
Oh.
That was his first one. There it is. Okay, there's the second one. Ooh. Torrin and Leroy, maybe it's the cane, maybe it's his sultry step and pattern, and maybe it's this Torrin's excitement to get to be exploring of sorts that keeps them towards the front of the pack, just walking along. Not fast, but making a good pace. Hachu and Wilhelm, you guys are starting to kind of bog down. You're starting to get kind of heavy-footed as you're walking further into the snow. The wind's starting to sweep up on you guys. And as you get towards the summit and start to cap over it, there's little bits of snow kind of built up that you're kind of trudging through. It's really cold on you, Hachu, because you're having to slide through it. And Wilhelm, you're just managing to get snow, like, above your boots, and it's starting to drop into your boots a bit and fuck up your wool socks. It's not great. As you guys get to the top, I want all four of you to give me perception. However, Wilhelm and Hachu with disadvantage.
Okay, I'll have to figure out how to turn that one on.
Ah, shit.
Or will you just? Oh, I see. Never mind.
Oh, not bad.
And said perception.
All right.
Wow.
Also not bad.
That was disadvantage?
Yeah.
This is some bullshit. I'm mad. That's what I get when I have a disadvantage? Why can't I get that when I... This game's rigged. And not in our favor.
Oh, Leroy, show him up.
Give me una memento.
He fell in the snow and died.
Oh no. Anyways.
Nice.
What am I rolling against this disadvantage or?
No. Only me and Hachu have disadvantage.
Yeah.
Hachu and I.
Hachu and I. Me and Hachu. So as you guys are getting up there, kind of shielding your eyes, cupping a little bit, looking outwards, Torin, you're a bit more taken in by like, wow, this is a big, cool, nothing island, but snow and ice and wind and sand and beach. You're just taking in the island more than anything. The rest of you, though, you kind of look outwards. Wilhelm, you're trying to look for outcroppings, juttings, maybe tactical positions that would imply defendable, and you're seeing a few that like man brain starts to kick in. It's like, man, I could like defend a whole beachhead from that position. That's where a bunker should be. Hachu and Leroy, though, you guys look out and you see a specific sort of smoother cropping. For lack of better words, there's a kind of a bowl inside of a bowl sort of slope going across a large area of this mountainside in front of you. And when you look at it, you can see there's sort of layered croppings where it's been wore away by water and stuff over time. And there's almost a space between like 6 inches to a foot wide where you have almost like a stair-step landing that's scaling down and up and across this specific like inner bowl mountainside. It's real smooth. It's a very steep drop. And you see one part that just seems to be a steady between 8 inches to 12 inch almost ledge in the rocky sort of outcropping that goes across the entire portion of it. And Hachu literally meets it. Your eyes focus for a half second and you see what looks like sort of metal rings about 2 inches across, kind of brown and rusted, sticking out of the rock face about 3 feet above this really thin strip of outcropping, spaced about 10 to 12 feet apart from each other. Just a bunch of metal rings in the rock face stuck into it, running along it.
Man, 3 for 3 got to these rings too. Damn it.
It's about a 300-foot descent beneath you.
All right.
Can we see the others from here?
What's up?
Can we see the others from here?
If you look down, you can kind of see the slope where the other two ended up like stopping for the moment to camp. But you can't really see them directly. But you know they're somewhere on a little plateau beneath you.
I don't see shit. I don't know what's going on.
I guess I sort of point out to where these rings are as the most noticeable detail.
As he points that out, I want all 3 of you to give me investigation.
All 3 of us? Or 4 of us?
All 3 of you, not counting Hachu.
Oh, duh. That makes sense.
My glasses are fogging from my breath.
Oh god, yeah. And Leroy. Let's get that investigation.
I need to put this on the bigger screen. I'm like leaning in to see the screen.
Oh god.
When did this fog roll in? Why is there fog up here?
I
seeing
can cut
fog
through the
right now?
fog with a knife and eat it off my cane.
As the three of you kind of looking where he's pointing, Torin, yeah, you straight up get like wind blasted by a cold chill that just you could feel the like kind of moisture in your nose threaten to frost over for a moment as it just hits you. Wilhelm, you can see the ledge that he's pointing at, but you're like, what the hell are you talking about rings? And you're kind of like focusing, and for a half second you lift your goggles up to look and put them back down. You're not really seeing the rings he's talking about, but you can see the landing, the sort of thin strip of outcropping. Leroy, you look at it, you've had a nice amount of versed experience, and you're familiar enough with mounting points for like climbing rope or a supporting rope when moving across hillsides. And you can see these metal rings sticking out of the rock face a few feet above this long stretched outcropping. And you're familiar enough with, yeah, those are safety loops. Those are safety holes that you can like clip to or run a rope through or a cable through to hold on to, assumedly for the thin outcropping, in quotations, path beneath it to get from roughly your guys' position to the opposite side of this really smooth sloped mountainside.
Well, I can see a way for us to get up. The question is, does anybody have? Do I have? Because I know I've got the rope. The question is, do I have a? What's the word for it? Hook.
You have some basic rope and like kind of like hook gear and climbing gear. All of you have like your basic mountain and winter trekking stuff on you, in addition to any other like implied regular exploration gear that you would have started with. So you got like rope, you probably got one or two hooks, maybe a sort of older version of a carabiner, things like that.
I got pythons, which would work very well for like
pythons as well. Yep.
Well, if you say there's something over there, perhaps I should go get the others and lead them and point them in the right direction.
All right. Well, go for it.
You want me to go with you, Torin?
If you want.
I'll go with.
I want.
I want.
Wilhelm wants, and he wants now.
Wilhelm smash. Wilhelm angry.
I just figure, the old man might need some help getting up here.
Good lord.
Pick him up.
After that line, you're going to regret it when you also get stuck coming up.
Yeah, I probably will. Because I'm probably older than you. Or pretty darn close.
Actually, yeah.
Am I the oldest in the party?
I think you are the oldest in the party, but only by a couple years.
I'm 50, technically, but I live longer than you guys.
Yeah, that's valid.
Bitch.
Alright, let's go. We're wasting daylight.
So you're gonna head back down, grab the other two, make a nice casual pace back up to the original position?
Far enough to get within shouting distance. We're going to avoid losing as much altitude as possible.
Okay. I would like all of you to roll me athletics, the four of you, as you make your way back down the mountain.
Is it all four of us?
Or who's going down to get the other two?
Just me and Torin.
Oh, okay.
Torin
Yeah,
and
just the two of you roll me athletics then.
Going down is harder than going up.
Not for me.
It's actually kind of difficult. You guys are making your way down. Wilhelm's making a much better step about it. And it takes you a good couple hours to get back down until you get within about earshot, past the wind and the cool breeze and some of the snow blowing back and forth a little bit. And you see the two of them sitting down there, kind of cozy and casual.
Hey! We found the spot!
What?
What? Huh?
We found the spot! It's Natalie!
Can I see what the fuck he's pointing at?
He's pointing towards the mountain as if you could see through the mountain.
Well, guess we gotta get over it. I'm gonna stand up and start walking and use my spear as a cane.
Father Alexei was right. I should have done more cardio.
Two of you get up and start making your way up. I would like now the four of you returning back up the mountain to all roll me athletics.
2.
Fuck.
Damn.
10.
God damn.
Oh.
Aren't you, Leroy?
It was Leroy.
Nikos, people like you and me were not built for elevation changes.
Rolling just because I know I'm gonna fail. Just turn it out of the way.
Fucking Wilhelm is just like, just like the
I
mountain.
thought you didn't come back. I thought you didn't come back
He was
with
just
them.
rolling for the meme of it, but
Oh.
Peter, Nikos, and Torn, you guys get to the top here, and roll up and over the summit a little bit and back down a little ways to the opposite side to meet up with Leroy and Hachu. The three of you are now fully winded and just tired. Wilhelm, though, you're oddly trekking okay. Your old bones are holding up. But you guys are properly winded now with the three of you.
Obviously, you've never been in the mountains in Finland.
You'll know. During the war, I had the horse.
There's something
I
wrong
don't get it.
with the air up
Greece
here.
is full of mountains. I think it's just the sand.
Why is my character from the
It's
flattest
coarse.
part of any of these other guys have
And
made it up
rough.
this mountain?
It just gets
And
everywhere.
gets everywhere.
It's like the air
Ah.
is only half air. I don't.
Hey, just remember, you're a little bit lower than us, so you still get thicker air than us.
I don't think that's how it works.
He's 1 foot
I'd
above
like
the
to.
exact layer
I'd like to
where the
roll
oxygen gets
intelligence
thin.
to. I'd like to roll intelligence to find out whether or not that's how it works.
Roll me intelligence.
I'm smiling at you this whole time. That you're just kind of like thinking about it. I'm just like looking at you and smiling, because I just made an intelligent short joke.
You know, oxygen gets thinner the higher you get, but you don't really understand the levels or heights or the altitudes, but you know that there's certain levels in mountains where it does get thinner and harder to breathe, and people that live at higher elevations have better lung capacities, and you've seen that around like the Georgian mountains and shit like that, of course. But yeah, I don't know, maybe Torn's like a foot taller than like the oxygen level, or maybe he's a foot underneath where the oxygen gets even thinner.
What? He got that with a 15?
He doesn't know what elevation he's at.
Oh, well, let y'all know the tallest peak on the island's only 2,000 feet. So
Yeah, it's not very high.
It's,
Hey, I grew up at sea level, okay?
I can't exactly.
well, how do you think
I grew
feel?
I grew up on the steppe with a horse, so I don't want to hear any of you guys. I didn't walk nowhere.
You have bigger lungs, Snake Boy.
I literally walked through Scandinavia to get to England, so.
You walked across the ocean too.
I walked across the ocean. Peter would be following me around like I was a prophet.
So, able to point out to you guys the sort of outcropping that works like a sideways stepping sort of footpath, or very carefully kind of 1 foot in front of the other walking path that runs along the opposite side of the slope. You realize it's a very steep drop downwards, but once it's pointed out, all of you are able to kind of look real close and realize that once you get down towards it, it does seem like there are little ringlets or loops punched into the rocks for holding onto or looping something through, it seems, to get across this.
So, the way I see this is one person needs to go and run the rope and make it okay for everyone else to cross in a slightly more safe manner.
I vote the Danger Noodle.
It's either him or you.
Me?
I am not fit for this.
I'm older than you, boy.
I suppose I would be the I'd be the easiest to pull up if I fell.
He does have a point there.
Do you think you can make it?
It'd also be the easiest one to throw off the mountain. I'm joking.
I need you to put your hands into like an A shape, and then try to flatten out. We're gonna toss you.
I do not like that idea. Do not suggest it again.
We're trying to make you ascend into a higher form of dragon.
I am not a dragon.
Oh, look at this way. You'll get there faster.
Just tie a safety rope already.
As you guys walk your way down a little bit closer as you're preparing, you get to the start of this sort of inner bowl-shaped, just drop and smooth side of this mountain peak. Looking across it, you can see it's about 200 to 250 meters long across. And then on the opposite side, there seems to be a sort of flat landing and almost like a plateau that's sticking out a little bit uncharacteristically on the opposite side of this thin path running along the side of this mountain. And of course, as you get there, I would like everybody to roll me investigation.
Investigate the shit out of this.
Finally.
Investigate these nuts. I got 9. Fuck.
I
I deserved
I
it.
did investigate the shit out of this.
Look at those nuts.
Oh, I'm still rolling with deception.
That's okay.
That works.
That's deception.
Investigation.
Hang on.
Disadvantage.
Let me redo that.
Well, I'll just take the 9. We'll take 9.
Yeah.
9.
Take the 9.
It was meant to be.
And
9.
we also need Leroy.
Nice.
Aha. Still not as good as me.
Damn.
Fucker.
Okay. Leroy, Wilhelm, and Torin are walking up towards the front of the pack. The rest of you are kind of following behind, a bit winded, a bit tired. And all three of you, almost in unison up in the front, kind of trip at the same time for a half moment, look down at your feet, then to each other, and then back down again as you all kind of scoot your feet side to side a bit. And there is a large, kind of haphazardly rolled and coiled up, about inch-thick metal cable that's just under the snow at your feet, just kind of laying there. It's that kind of like double braided, 8 strands thick metal cabling that you would see on like ships or on the side of a tank or holding really heavy cargo.
Follow it. It's a coil, but surely the end of it is somewhere, right?
You look at the coil and you can see where one end of it seems to be a very haphazard to bare fingers and open hand, a super frayed, shredded apart like it was cut very haphazardly end of a cable where it's just frayed out in all directions and fan-tailed. You follow it to the other end and you're able to track it all the way, kind of digging through the snow, pulling it out of the snow, and you pull the cable to the base of it where it seems to be going down into the ground itself, where it seems like a whole bunch of cement was dumped into a hole that the end of it was dropped into. Like a really heavy footer.
This is an anchor point for a bridge that is no longer here.
Do the rest of us see it?
Yeah, the rest of you can see it as he's pulling it up.
Like a radio aerial.
Oh?
An antenna.
Yeah, I know.
A radio what?
Kobold is gonna like
Radio
throw over the
Gaga.
edge and look down for
Radio
either
Goo-Goo.
bridge remnants or like transmission balloon remnants.
Give me investigation.
I was thinking a radio tower.
As you look down and you realize that's a very, very long drop. That is... And if you do fall off this little ledge that runs along the side of this sort of mountain peak, kind of in the face of it, if you were to fall, you'd only fall about 20 feet before you hit the side, and it would be a very long, aggressive slide all the way down to some rather jagged and very darkly shaded, untouched by the sun, sort of bottom pit down there. You don't see any remnants of anything. You don't see any wood, any bridge, any balloon or tarp or cables. Granted, there's snow, but you don't see any evidence of that. Give me a insight roll, Torn.
Hey.
Looking at the end of it and seeing how frayed and ripped apart and fan-tailed out it is, and then seeing the cement footer and looking over and kind of seeing the scattered every 10 to 12 foot metal rings sticking out of the rock face just a couple feet above this landing, you're able to kind of draw a connection that this was maybe the safety line that you held onto while sort of tightrope walking the outcropping.
This was the safety line. I suggest if we want to get across to, like I said, I think we have to thread a new one. Don't everyone speak up at once!
What's that again?
Sorry, I am legit zoning out. I'm tired.
Hey. Hachu, you can stick to walls.
Well, yes, you're right. I might not even need to use my magic for this one. It's cold enough. Is it even actually that cold enough? It said it's summer, so it might actually not be.
Wait, can you actually, as an innate trait, stick to walls? I thought that was a spell.
I was making a joke of how cold it was.
Oh.
Licks his belly, slides to it, sticks.
Stuck forever.
Like a fridge magnet.
Hold on, let's think about this more smartly. Can you actually, like, do that wall thing here, like, safely?
I mean, yeah, I could. Well, on top of crawling the wall, I can. I'll just cast Featherfall on myself. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Okay.
Alrighty. So I'm assuming you're gonna send Hachu across with the snake crawl spell active.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Alright.
There goes nothing.
Feel free to cast it for me. I want to double check what the time limit of it is.
I believe it's an hour.
1 hour. Yeah, up to 1 hour. Okay. Yeah, it definitely won't take you an hour to get across.
How much rope do we need? How long is this?
Well, it's about 200 meters across. In feet, that is... should be 180 feet.
Alright, Torrent's gonna start fishing his rope out of his bag.
I stand corrected. 200 meters is 650 feet.
We don't have enough rope.
I was going by yards. 200 meters is. Oops.
Can we adjust that?
Hmm?
We're gonna have to tie all of our ropes together.
And we still don't have enough rope.
Give me a.
All right.
Give me.
We're all gonna have to hang on to the stake.
Give me a quick investigation, all of you.
Well, he clearly
I
didn't.
am.
Investigation. Ooh, nice.
Damn. Wilhelm?
What's up?
Investigation, please.
Okay, sorry.
You guys, Leroy, Peter, Wilhelm, and who else are we missing? Hotch?
Hachu.
Hachu.
Well, aren't I on the
You're about to
crawling
be.
on the finger?
You're
Oh,
about to
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. God, I need a second monitor so bad. Investigation. Hey.
Damn.
Holy shit.
Peter and Tord, you're a bit perplexed at how much rope you have among the six of you and being like, well, that's 300 feet of rope if we tie it really, really, really exact, so maybe more like 280, but you're kind of trying to puzzle this together. The other four of you look over at the coiled up cable, the cable roping that's laying there, even though it's frayed out. And if you had to take a sort of guess, you're like, that's maybe about 400 foot of cable coiled up there.
$400 You said how long was the gap?
About 600?
Alright. Shit. How much rope does everyone have?
50 feet.
Everyone should have about 50 feet, so you're looking at like 300 feet of rope among all of you.
6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot up.
I'm gonna leave this to someone else. This is not Peter's wheelhouse at all.
Peter and Torn are arguing about rope.
Actually, with my brain being a calculation-based person, yes, that would be 600 feet of rope. A little bit less because at the knots you have to probably take off like a couple inches per section. Per
Inches. I'd say at least a foot just to be safe.
well, it depends what type of knot you're doing. If you're doing like
I want a knot that's going to support Peter's hefty bulk, and then, you know, despite James being bigger than Peter, I mean, he's got that sinewy form. He can, balance his weight.
He can also
But
just
Peter's a chunky
walk.
imperialist. He's eating way too much black bread and borscht.
borscht.
How freshly severed is the cable end?
So much goulash.
Freshly what?
Severed. A cable that was
Oh,
recently
that's
severed with-
roll me investigation.
Yeah.
Nice. You lean down and look at the end of this cable. Damn. Okay, 18. You realize, upon second glance, it wasn't cut or cut through or like cabled through. It was melted through. Looking at it, you get a slight tinge of kind of an irony smell. Sort of a kind of sulfur mix, and you realize it was like flash melted through, it seems, and cut through with some very high intense heat, it seems.
Yes, but how long ago? You'd be able to tell by the
Looking at just over a week.
Okay.
I mean, this is
So we're not in imminent danger.
this is the right place. I mean, this cable was mounted quite recently. This isn't old damage. This is new.
How new did you say?
About a week. I mean, Rust is rust. I'm not a rust magician, but about a week.
Well, hopefully whatever did it is not still here.
Who would build a walkway like this to a listening post?
It's cheaper and easier to hide than the bridge.
What kind of walkway is this without the cable? Is it just a ledge? Like the cable's a safety
so
thing?
picture like the side of a mountain. Essentially, it's very steep, very long drop, and there's just sort of a rocky, kind of jagged outcropping, anywhere from 8 inches to a foot wide. That's just kind of sticking out from like erosion and water levels, and yeah, you got little ringlets running along this a few feet above the outcropping where the cable would run through, so you can basically sidestep while holding the cable all the way across.
Okay, terrifying. Gotcha.
It's like those ones at the Grand Canyon, you know, they're like, hey, here's a cable to walk this 6-inch wide gap, and the canyon to your left and a rock face to your right. Wilhelm, I would like you to give me a perception check, by the way.
Perception check.
Boom. Wow. You sniff the air twice as Torn is looking down with the others and kind of looking at the end of this. And you sniff again, and you look at it, you lean in, you sniff it one more time, and you're familiar with alchemical bonds and different types of powders and elements and boiling points and all this and that. You're familiar with a originally sort of German invention that was used quite often. No, used quite often for railroads and very hastily putting together certain ties and metal and buildings. It is a nice smelly mix of aluminum oxide, ferric oxide, magnesium, and zinc that you realize when all put together burns at a stupidly hot level very rapidly and very directional. This is beta thermite.
Guys, we might want to stop for a second.
Oh?
What is it?
Does anybody smell that?
No?
No, not really.
I smell snow.
I smell Kamichiak's last chemistry project.
You mean Wilhelm?
Yes, Wilhelm. I'm tired. I'm sorry. I'm tired.
I smell
so-
Wilhelm's mustache wax.
I don't mean
It is
to,
rather strong, isn't it?
I don't mean to put fear into all of you, but it smells kind of like. I'm going Russian again. Damn it, I tried. It smells kind of like thermite.
Would I know what that is at this time?
I don't think this is something any of you guys would have really read into or really focused on.
Would Peter know it all or no?
Peter, I think, has a chance to know, and
Maybe. I don't know if the Cossacks ever. I don't think Russia ever really used any like high incendiaries or thermite devices. Really.
no,
At
you
least
said
not
it was used for
militarily.
welding rail ties, and I was fighting in the Civil War where that was important.
True. Yeah, you may have seen it. You may have seen them using what looked like a flash powder to put a rail tie together rather than welding it. Like they were just flash burning it, but I don't know if you ever would have focused that hard into what it actually was.
At least give me the chance to roll for it, and I think
Roll me
just
history.
I can
then.
also explain it.
I think being in a museum, and that was, I know for a fact that was used in the American railway
Oh
system.
yeah, that was using a
Torrin
big
has
time in the
Torrin
West.
has a chance too, and maybe even
We'll do history. We'll do history for you two, and we'll see. where that
maybe
goes.
Leroy has too because of all his trade.
And I can't believe
Sea trade.
Well, Peter, you don't know shit about it, so.
I seen it done.
I seen it. I know what it is.
Wait for Sora
Did not
to
know
put
what it was
his,
called.
real life autism into his character about trains.
Yeah.
Thermite railroad.
Peter doesn't quite remember. Torin, yeah, you're actually onto something with the American history lore of the railroad and how they were able to put it together so quickly. If you took the time to weld it properly, it would have been drastically slower, but just thermite flash burning it together worked rather haphazardly and quickly. Leroy, yeah, holy shit, Leroy's familiar with it too. Probably didn't know it was called thermite, probably knew it as flash powder or welding powder, but he's seen it used before in maybe a few myriad of things to rapidly put together. However, nobody's seen it used in any military sense.
Well,
So,
you are absolutely right.
To put it simply, as you've probably seen it or know of it, Torin, and you might know it as flash powder, Leroy. It's been used in the railway systems to essentially melt the steel beams together, so that way you don't have to have somebody sitting there with a torch to actually weld it together. Well, in military uses, it's been used for a bunch of different things. One of the things is breaking open bunkers. Different munitions of artillery use it because it burns extremely hot. I smell that right now.
You think someone's been making a railway here?
No, I think somebody's been burning something to either open something up. That would be my guess.
No, this is very intentional. Somebody cut this cable with a purpose. You don't accidentally
The saucy beats.
thermite a cable.
Do I
Would
see
they-
any residue on the cable of the thermite?
With that investigation, that was the second part I was going to get to. You know exactly what the molten aluminum and iron mix looks like once it's done, and the residue and smell that is coming off of it. It was straight up torched with thermite.
Okay,
Could
so
it-
the cable actually was.
Could it be that the listening post, cut it? You know, sort of like in a castle when you raise the drawbridge to keep someone from getting in.
I don't know of any listening posts that might actually have thermite as part of their supplies, especially if they're underground or something like that. The chances of it going off and them being either burned to death or die of inhalation if there was an accident wouldn't be good.
Would it not be possible they kept it around for the purpose of demolitions?
It is possible. I'm not saying that's not a thing, but the thermite was used specifically on this cable. So I don't know if that's something that was done by the listening post or done by someone potentially infiltrating the listening post. All I'm saying is from here on, we should proceed with a good amount of caution, a little bit more than we've had at this point.
Look, whoever cut this, cut it from the other side. Look how much cable is on this side. It was cut from that direction.
Again, it could be the listening post cut it to because they were under siege, or it could be someone infiltrated the listening post and cut it so that anybody trying to rescue them when they went dark wouldn't be
Does
able to.
anybody have binoculars or a telescope?
I believe Leroy still has the binos from the spotting nest.
I'm on that rail.
I haven't let them
thing,
go,
right?
so they're probably still hanging around my neck.
Can
Currently
I?
frozen to his chest.
One of the things I don't.
Can I
have.
borrow them? If it was cut by someone as an ambush, you would think they would do it while people are on the rope, and we would be able to see bodies down there.
Roll me perception. Let's see if you can see out of them. Yes.
Oh, Peter, you're right. It was cut in the midpoint.
Yes.
Not the midpoint,
So
he
I'm
said
taking the
400.
binoculars out of my
Four-
inventory and giving them to Peter.
400 out of, well, I'm just going to pass them around to anyone who wants to have a look after I
There you
take a look
go.
first, which I'm assuming is going to be perception.
Yep.
It wasn't cut in the midpoint, it was cut slightly past the midpoint because we have 400 feet of cable and it's a 600-foot gap.
I meant middle in general.
But it is leaning to that side, which, you know, could go either way.
Right, the bisexual cable.
Perception. You look down at the binoculars, see a lot of snow, but you don't see anything down in there.
Let me see.
I'm going to pass them off to him.
Torn, perception.
I don't see shit.
Snow.
He's gonna
I'll
hand
take
him
a
off to
try.
him this next. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just have everyone try. We have
I'm not.
Snow.
That was worse.
zero negative to looking.
I'm not over there anymore, right?
Have you left yet for it, or?
I thought I did.
Alright. Are you taking any rope or the cable with you, or are you just slinking your way across?
I'll give them my part of rope, I guess. All of however much I have.
You'll have about 300 feet of rope if you take everybody's rope
Yeah.
off them.
I thought we'd already spliced everything together at this point.
Okay. So yeah, you got the 300 feet of rope as you're slithering across this very thin area, and you're putting it through the ringlets. As you continue along, you're probably about 200 feet away now at this point. Putting the rope through another ring and continuing on with the coil in your hand.
Do you want to take a look, Wilhelm?
I mean, I probably know what I'm looking for a little bit more.
I'm talking about looking for bodies at the bottom.
Yeah, I know.
But you can look for anything else too.
I'm just gonna look through and see everything. I'm gonna look at the bottom and I'm gonna look down the rope or the cable.
Alright. Give me perception. 14. You see snow beneath you. And you see, you're trying to look for the opposite end of the cable. You don't see the opposite end of the cable. All the way to where the little outcropping ends and it flattens out to some flat ground and a rock face. You don't see the other side of the cable.
Hey, Ryan. Look. All right.
Uh-huh.
Look at the
I'm not
fucking
joking. I'm
binoculars.
giving them to.
After he looks might be a good stopping point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. I got stuff to do tomorrow, and I'm already like.
You're good. Give me a quick perception, and then I'll give you guys a good leaving point.
As a giant Yeti comes over the hill and knocks Hachu off the cliff.
The snow beast walking up with a lightsaber in hand.
Starts offering us snow cones.
I'm the Wampa. I'm the Wampa.
Just don't eat the lemon flavored ones.
Yeah.
All of
Welcome
those
to the Himalayas.
Were hilariously bad. I love
Wow. Yeah, all these perceptions do. Well, they're not terrible. They're just
Oh,
not
man.
enough for what you look for. He leans over with his binoculars, putting the lanyard back around his neck, looking over. There's snow. You don't see anything way down below. You don't see any evidence of anything falling through the snow. It's just smooth snow and some rocks sticking out. And you kind of lean back up, look to the opposite side. You don't see the cable, the other 200 feet of cable on the opposite end anywhere. You're not seeing really any evidence of anything. Hachu, as you're slithering along, you're stringing the rope through, and you get about to the 300 point before you get to the end of your 300 feet of rope, and you're able to tie it through one of the, or did you attach it to the end of the cable?
I'd like to assume that Kobold would have taken the initiative to weave it through the end of the cable.
Okay, so in that case, you've been pulling the cable along for that long, so you're actually able to pull the cable all the way to about 400 feet worth. And as you pull the cable through, you're looping the rope, coiling it around again, and you look to the side, and you see a large, about 2 feet across, very dark black burn mark on the rock face. And
Oh,
it
that's
lines
nice.
up almost perfectly where the cable is frayed and ripped and burnt apart.
Ah. Well, there's a problem.
And you...
Why is it melted?
So it melted of some very high temperature thermite. But with the rope tied to the end of it and the fraying all kind of coiled around with it, you're able to get that additional 200 feet that you would need and then some. Do you continue your way along to the opposite end? At you.
But, oh god, somebody. What?
Do you continue your way all the way to the opposite end, or are you gonna hold off in the center?
It hasn't been an hour yet. I'm still good on that crawling thing. So yeah, I'll keep going.
You'll
Just
continue
kind
your
of
way along
cautiously now.
and
After
more
seeing the
cautiously,
burn
kind of
mark.
hugging the side a bit more as you're now using the rope instead of the cable, and you get to each ringlet and you realize you have to put the end of the rope through and then pull about 200 feet of rope through it and recoil it each time you get to a ring. So it takes a bit of time as you get all the way to the very end. And you get towards sort of a flat landing. You tie it off and you look down. Give me a quick investigation roll.
Hey, nat 20!
Damn, of all
Finally,
things.
fucking finally.
You look down and you're looking for somewhere to tie the rope to, and you're like, well, shouldn't there be a footer and a cable on this side? So you start sifting through some of the snow and some of the cover over, and you find a very sort of rounded just hole in the ground, almost like it was dug with a post hole digger, or a post hole shovel. And you put your arm down in it, pull out more snow and some of the dirt and some more. It's very loosely packed in there. You kind of lean back, scoot some snow around it, and it seems like the footer and the other end of the cable was pretty hastily ripped out of the ground and is no longer anywhere near you. So you're kind of having to look around a little bit, and you see a sort of larger ringlet sticking out of a somewhat smoother rock face off to your side. So you go to approach that and tie the rope through it and fully cinch it off as the new footer for it on the opposite end. I want you to give me a perception roll as you do.
Alright. Not as good.
Hey. Well,
Thank
it
God
is
it's a +7.
just
That would've been
enough.
terrible.
It's just enough. As you're standing there tying it off, you can hear them kind of discussing on the opposite side over some of the wind and air and some of the faint echoes. And let me pull this up here real quick as the sound that you start to hear off to your left.
Oh, hell.
Oh.
Let me find this here. Where is it?
Was that the noise? Was that the noise right there?
No, you didn't get a, you didn't get a text. As you're tying it off, you cinch it with kind of a nod and a smile, and you start to hear it grow a little bit to your side as you look over. Give me one quick investigation as well. Another nat 20. Nah, 22. You look over, and the rocks to your left look very smooth. They don't look nearly as jagged or as rock face as all the other rock faces in Hillside here. And there's a very particular sort of incropping along this. And as you focus on it a bit more, your eyes go a little more thin to really like narrow it down. you can see what looks like a very narrow slit window with the end of what looks like a smaller bore cannon barely sticking out of this rock face, and you can see a larger incropping and sort of indent in the rock face. You can't really see into it, but it's kind of door-shaped in a way, and you can hear a very faint sound coming from just inside that outcropping.
It's not Halloween yet.
Excuse me.
And it's kind of grainy, but you can hear it very faintly coming out from the inside of this incropping in the rock face, and assumedly through the little cannon slit in the rock face as well.
Brazier.
Fuck! I just recognized the song.
I recognized what it was immediately, Matt, but okay.
I'm also setting up the armor mission right now.
And we'll end the session there.
Uh-oh.
Nazis on ice!
Not the Nazis on ice.
Gotta have a Disney's on Ice spinoff. Oh wait, that's just Disney. Never
Isn't
mind.
that The Hills Are Alive with the Sound of Music?
The hills are alive with the sound of.
Stuka dive horns.
You know what? We're gonna redo the one that nobody showed up to play last week or last time. So